Welcome, everybody. How are you doing this afternoon, evening, wherever you may be? I hope you're having a fantastic time. And of course, I hope you're going to be enjoying today's show. I am Brett FX, joined here by Gravity, and we're going to be watching the BCL Summer Cup bracket play. This is going to be some awesome games that we have here today. Definitely looking forward to it. Gravity, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Brett. I'm just super excited for the game. Nafu versus eXodus. This should be a great matchup today.
Oh, it absolutely is. But first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket. We do have a couple of games that have actually happened. Unfortunately, last weekend, we just weren't able to get the time set and we weren't able to watch any of the games. To give you an update on what was going on, Breakdown did take down Imperial. They are going to be moving on. Just Lost does win by default. So obviously they are going to be moving on into our quarterfinal of the match or the bracket. So as you can see right there, Legacy has already played this weekend in their first quarterfinal match. They did lose to Team ESF. Unfortunately, couldn't watch that one, even though I have heard that was probably a pretty good one. And they do fall to that lower bracket. We do have Imagine versus Team Breakdown going to be happening later on. And then, of course, tonight's match, which is going to be Natus Fungus versus eXodus. That will be a fairly good match. I am certain of it. I'm hoping for it in my bones. I'm wishing that it's going to be a good one here tonight. Then, of course, we do have Team VN versus Just Lost that is going to be happening later on. So the winner of this match will be facing off against the winner of VN and Just Lost. Will be really interesting to see that in the semifinals. Now, the loser of this one is going to be facing off against the loser of VN and Just Lost as well. As you can see, Legacy is waiting for their eventual opponent, which is going to be either Breakdown or Imagine. And either of those, really, I think is going to be a pretty darn good matchup, to say the least. So let's go ahead and get on to our teams here today. As we said before, this is going to be eXodus versus Natus Fungus. Just butchered their name. We're gonna say Nafu. Nobody says the full name. Come on. And yeah, both of these teams, I would say Nafu, definitely the more veteran team out of both of these. Exodus has a lot of new players, a lot of actually 5v5 players that have kind of transferred over into 8v8. So I'm definitely looking forward to what they're going to be getting into in that regard. But you know what? We've got some really cool interviews that are going to be coming up. The first one, though, was from Dalton talking to Master Russ. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they have to say about today's matches.
Hello and welcome to the interview for the Nafu side. Today with us we have Master Russ. Hello Master Russ, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yep, you're welcome. So the first question I have for you, who is this Master Russ guy? Can you explain to the people watching, who are you?
Oh, well, nowadays I'm just some washed up infantry player. But, well, if I may say so, I'm probably playing the 3488 the longest at this point from the people who are left playing it, as I started in 2K13, playing for various teams. I started as a heli pilot, if you may believe that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, went on to be a boat player, then started to learn infantry, and so it went.
Yeah, and then you've mentioned all of the different teams you've played for, but from all the teams you've played for, which one was the most memorable for you? Which one did you have the greatest time with?
It must be enough at this point. I think I've spent the longest as well, and I've just always had a great time playing with these guys.
Yeah, makes sense, and they're also really good. And then another question, you've mentioned it, you're a bit of a multi-role player, you've done heli, boats, jets as well, I believe, and infantry. But what role are you most comfortable with nowadays?
Nowadays, I just want to play infantry, to be honest. I think I can have the most impact doing that.
Yep, makes sense. And then a last personal question, what is your all-time favorite map, if you can pick out of all the maps?
Oh, that's a hard one. Well, as a boat player, it would be easy. It would be Parasol, obviously. Well, there wasn't much wave breaker back in the days.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good too. Well, I would say it must be two maps. One is a boat player, one is an infantry. So it would be as infantry, I would say Propaganda actually.
Yeah, I agree. Propaganda is an amazing map to play. A lot of rotations, possibilities, and other stuff. And then some match-related questions. What has to happen today for you to win the match? Like, is there any battle plan, anything specific that you guys trained for?
Well, there's no super specific prep, but it's just important that we turn up individually. We keep our comms calm and clear, no tilt and so on, and we just have to play our game and play it well, and then we should have good chances to win the game.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Then how did you prepare for your opponent as a team? Was there anything specific that you guys talked about? Any training you did?
Well, we don't really know. We don't really know the EXO team. We've never scrimmed them before, so it's a bit of a guess how they're gonna play. So that's why, as I said, we just try to focus on our own game, and yeah, we think if we play well, that should be enough.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Always focus on your own team and your own gameplay, and then everything should work out. And then which maps do you think will be played? You've mentioned that you don't really know EXO, but take a wild guess. Like on your side or on their side?
I think it's gonna end up at least one Infi map will be in there, either Zavod or Hammerhead, I'm pretty sure, and maybe something like a Go mode, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that would be nice to see. And who's tonight's favorite in the eye of the public?
Well, it in my opinion should be Nafu. Well, it would be strange to say otherwise.
Yeah,
as a member of the team, but
yeah,
I think, like, talking objectively, Nafu is just the more experienced team. Although EXodus have some strong players, but Nafu should be favored overall, I believe.
Yeah, I think I have to agree on that one. I guess that's it for today. Thank you for doing the interview. It was a pleasure having you here. And then we go on to the next one. See you guys.
Yes, the next one. That is what we are called. The next one. I am Brett here, and we're going to be with Volcia, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Actually, he's the only guy that had a camera, so he kind of just got dumped on it. But you know what? That is neither here nor there. Love to have you here, Volcia. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, I am absolutely fantastic, man. Get to talk about some Battlefield. You can't absolutely have bad time when you're doing that. So first of all, this is going to be Nafu versus EXodus, as we've already talked about. We've already gone over a lot. That was an interview with Master Ruski, and you know, as far as teams goes, it should be a pretty interesting one. I'm definitely looking up for a very good match here. But we'll see. You know, you're new to me. I haven't really seen you. I haven't had an opportunity to cast you. So you're a new guy in my eyes. Who are you? Where are you coming from?
I guess I just came from other shooters, really. I've played Siege before this, competitive. Didn't really stick with me before I came to Battlefield. Moved on to this. Got back into Battlefield and met some of the guys that are on EXO right now. We decided we want to play comp. We want to get into the scene more, and I guess that's how it kind of happened. We used to talk to Spectre, and just out of nowhere, we're kind of a team now. So.
All right. So you mentioned, we were talking a bit off camera, and you mentioned earlier that most of you guys are infantry based. So not a whole lot of vehicle experience is going to be going on there. You know, as an infantry focused player, have you made the transition fairly well over to this 8v8 style of play? Because I mean, there are some infantry based maps, that is obvious, but you do have some very, very vehicle heavy, like you got Parasol Storm, you got Rogue, you got, you know, those type of maps where it really focuses on being able to have those vehicles.
Yeah, I feel like we're still meshing into the vehicle section. Like we do fine on some maps, but some maps, like, there are some we just cannot hit our straws, and it's only on that specific map. Some maps I'm not gonna name, but we do really really well on.
We're gonna save those.
Yeah. But I feel like we're still in that stage where we're kind of learning and building upon it.
Okay. Well, it should be interesting here. It'll be really curious to see where you guys actually go to as well when 2142 does come out, because that game is looking to be pretty spicy. If any of you guys did get into the technical test, you know what I'm talking about. It's pretty interesting. It's Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It's going to be interesting. So let's move on to the match. So again, Nafu versus eXodus. So what do you guys need to do in order to take the win in this game?
Honestly, I think it's what we were talking about before. We need to focus vehicles more. We need to get a ground foot on the floor. We need to watch roofs. We just need to take care of vehicles primarily. We have struggled with that in the past. We're not really the greatest at it yet. We're still in that stage. But I think if we can control the vehicles, we should be fine. Other than that, there's not much that we really have to worry about yet.
Okay, so is there anything specific that you do to prepare for Nafu? I mean, obviously, you're going to try your hardest no matter who you play, but is there anything specific to Nafu that you're going to have to be watching out for?
I don't really think so yet. We haven't really talked about it. I know they're a great team. They've been playing a lot longer than we have. They're a really good team. There's just, like I said, there's not much we can disclose yet about it.
Keep it as there. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I understand.
No, it's fine.
So, I don't know how much that you're going to be able to talk about on this next one, but what maps would you like to play them on, and what maps would you like to avoid playing these guys on?
The one map that we would like to avoid would probably be one of the infantry-based ones. As surprising as it sounds.
Really?
Yeah. Surprising as it sounds, I don't really think we're set on infantry-based maps yet. So, other than that, you have your hammers, which are basically infantry. You have Zavid, which is kind of a mix. I think if we avoid somewhere around that, we should be, I guess, decent. But
okay. So interesting. An infantry-focused team avoiding an infantry-focused map. That's a twist.
Surprising.
That's a twist. Oh man. So you're feeling, I would imagine that any team is going to be going into this match. They're going to be feeling pretty confident about themselves. But objectively speaking, if you were the guy on the outside right now, who would you be giving the advantage to? Nafu or yourselves?
Honestly, I don't quite think I could say who. I think it's a fairly drawn out comparison. I think they're a bit better in experience, but I think we have better infantry based players. We just don't have that quite as much experience yet, So I think it'll be a close game. I can't really pick out who wins, of course, but I want to say us, but
awesome.
Everybody says us, so
well, I mean, you kind of. It's always a rough question, That's why I was talking about, like, objectively speaking, if you were the outside looking in, who would that guy be? Who would be the one that wins up? I know back from my competitive days, that was always one of the things going into a match. Obviously, if you're not hyped up that you're going to be winning, that's like half the battle. You're going to be, taking an L probably later on if you don't feel confident going into it right from the start. So, yeah, everybody's going to be feeling good, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think you guys are going to be providing a good match as well. So, bar the fact that we're not going to be having to use Dalton today, because as you said, he is the weakest link in the team, and we don't want weak links on the team, that's for sure. But you guys are definitely going to be looking good. I'm excited for the match so far. And so we're going to be throwing it back to myself and Gravity, and hopefully we're going to be having a fantastic match here today, guys. Some stuff. All right, guys, awesome stuff there. And thanks to the guys who did tune in or who showed up for the interviews. We absolutely appreciate those later on, even though Volcia was kind of thrown to the wolves there at the very last second. It's pretty awesome that he did a good job for us. So let's go ahead and we're going to head into our map vetoes. And there's going to be a little difference here today. We are going to be seeing a ban, pick, ban, and then a decider. But before we go into that, Gravity, let's talk a little bit about these teams. You know, what are the strengths and what are some of the weaknesses that we might be seeing coming out in that could influence their picks and bans?
Well, NAFU generally has a much stronger vehicle lineup than eXodus. A lot of their players are vehicle oriented. They've got a good tanker, a good helo pilot. eXodus very focused on infantry neutral. A incredible infantry player. I think maps like Zavad might favor eXodus, whereas a map like Rogue or Parasol might not favor them in the long run. Hammerhead, probably a good map for them. Dawnbreaker, possibly good, depending on the rotations. But I think overall, a vehicle-oriented map like Hanan or Parasol or Rogue definitely could favor NAFU.
All right. Well, hopefully we're going to be getting these picks bands underway here very soon, and we'll be able to see what's going to be happening there. I'm definitely looking forward to how this is going to be playing on out. As you can see there, guys, our roster of maps: Hainan Resort, Zavad, Hammerhead, Dawnbreaker, Rogue Transmission, Parasol Storm, and Siege of Shanghai. So awesome map pool here that we got to check out. And yeah, we'll just see how this is going to be going. It does look like our first ban is going to be in. Dawnbreaker is out of it, and that is going to be eXodus banning Dawnbreaker. Is that something that you kind of figured on? I mean, it is fairly heavy vehicle-wise.
So Dawnbreaker, of course, has the mobile AA on it. Not necessarily the greatest, vehicle. Because, I mean, largely in AV8s under Dawnbreaker lately, it's been used specifically for holding down the back flags and getting in those chip shots on the helicopter. Whereas the infantry-wise, it kind of can go back and forth depending on what team is pushing on those back flags. Those A&E flags on Dawnbreaker can really make or break a team. And Dawnbreaker can really end up being a toss-up at the end of the day due to how quickly, your stability on the map can change. So I think banning Dawnbreaker first pick probably a good idea.
All right. Awesome stuff there. Those look like the next one is going to be in here. This time, NAFU will be taking out Zavad 311. That is a shame. Probably one of my favorite maps to cast. It is a classic for Battlefield 4. But is this something that you would expect NAFU to ban out?
Definitely one of the big maps in the pool, as you said. And like I said a little earlier, I think it's one of the maps that eXodus have a strong possible advantage on due to the strength of their infantry. Those BC flags in the middle, very infantry heavy. Whereas, I mean, it's possible that the tank could make up a good chunk of the difference, but as long as the eXodus infantry would be coordinated on their anti-tank rockets, maybe that tank factor wouldn't have mattered. So maybe NAFU a little worried about that.
All right, well, definitely makes sense, although that battle in the middle is going to be missed. But we are going to be seeing our next pick coming up, and that is going to be eXodus. Well, we talked about a battle in the middle of a map, and what a map that we have here. Hammerhead, one of the best infantry fights that we have ever seen happening on a map. This is it.
Hammerhead, an absolute map where the BC flags known for infantry dominance. It is a non-stop infantry fight over those two flags the entire round for both rounds. And I mean, it's partially what infantry players, live for, and B, I mean, it's a slugfest inside, and definitely eXodus feeling confident in their infantry play. Now, those AD flags are really going to be what determines the end of the matchup at the end of the day. How those tanks and those the mini squads, the two or three players that roll with the tanks and flank on those flags, really, it's going to depend on those players.
Yeah, absolutely. So next pick is going to be Parasol Storm, and this is going to be NAFU taking this one out. And as you said, vehicle oriented. This makes a lot of sense to me, especially with the boats and how well, if you can coordinate anyways, how well the boat and the helicopters can work together to really bully those players around the map. And it is very hard for those infantry to kind of get around.
Absolutely. I mean, infantry fights on Parasol largely relegated, and especially in the DC flags, to holding those inside of those building flags. you hold those stairs, you just camp them. You get infantry with stingers on the rooftop, making sure that you can kind of just keep that scout helo at bay. But largely, it's the boat that and a few infantry that determine the A flag. B flag, again, it's just you camp those buildings and you shoot across the bay there. So very, very strong pick for Nafu.
All right, 3 maps left. What do we have next? It is going to be Siege of Shanghai. No massive fight there into the middle. Not going to see any cheesy strats where we take down the building at the start. Almost a little bit sad there, like Siege.
You know what? Siege of Shanghai is a map where, I feel like if Exodus is not confident in that Scout Helo battle, or they don't want to risk the end of the game on a three flag map, I completely agree with that decision. So I think that's a good move on their part.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Hainan Resort. And that is actually really interesting because it does leave Rogue Transmission as our decider map. A map that I don't think we have seen in quite some time. At the very least, I haven't cast Rogue Transmission for 8v8s in a very long time. And that's going to have some interesting implications. Rogue Transmission is a map that we are going to be seeing both the attack chopper and the jet, which is going to be available. But the twist is that attack chopper, well, it only spawns once. So there's only one of them on the map at a time.
Yeah, and they spawn on that C flag, and it's a mad dash to the C flag in order to get that helo. Most of the time in competitive 8v8s, that chopper, first and second and third and fourth spawn tends to not get in the air. Most teams know just to camp that thing down right off the bat. And again, I think that this is a significant NAFU advantage map. They've got a good jet pilot. They've got great helo pilots. I think as long as Exodus maybe get on the flags, maybe the B and D flags, I think they might be able to hold on for a while though.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at our lineup here from our first team. And this is going to be Nafu. As you can see there, Mastras, Potato, Alegco, Emmy, Weshed, Volt, Hulu, and Don Polo are going to be your crew here. Now, out of these guys here, who are we looking at as our vehicle players, especially on this Hammerhead map?
So first off on Hammerhead, the big star of this map is going to be Audacious Potato. I mean, this player has so much competitive experience on Hammerhead. I mean, he single-handedly has been able to in the past hold the A and D flags away from tankers such as Kalzagi and Thunder Black. We've seen him do it before. Has been able to completely just hold a flag and turn a map around specifically on his tank skill. Another good, just talking about and another one. If we go back towards the helicopter stuff, towards Paracel and Rogue Transmission, we also have Hulumulu. Hulumulu, one of the best scout helo pilots in the league, and definitely having a huge advantage for Nafu on those maps. So yeah, definitely Potato and Hulu, the big vehicle players to watch this match.
Yeah. Now, as far as infantry players, who do we really need to be paying attention to on this Nafu lineup?
I mean, they have a pretty strong roster. I think Weshid and Vitoli, probably two of their strongest as far as their infantry go.
All right. There's lineup number 1 there for Nafu. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Exodus at the moment. Again, these guys fairly new on the block. There's a couple of vets in there, but interesting to see. I did also know that a couple of them came from console side of things, so it is cool to see them getting over here to the PC side. Definitely getting some good head on their shoulder, and a lot more intelligent than those other guys who stayed over there for the console side of things. Anyways, I am joking, by the way, for any of you guys who do still play on console. But let's go ahead and take a look at Electrify, Vale, Justin Volcia, Nuzzle, Snootbag, Neutral, and I can't see that last one. It is Stewie. Sorry, Stewie. Did forget your name there for just a few seconds. But I have cast a couple of these guys, I think, before in the past. It has been quite a while. Electrify, I do recognize. I believe he was a jet pilot, or he's a stand-in jet pilot.
He is an outstanding jet pilot. Okay. So, I mean, at least on Rogue Transmission, Exodus at least has that as a standout for them. They might actually go into the map with that advantage. Justin QL is going to be their tanker on most of the maps today. Not quite sure if he'll be in the boat or if they're going to swap it out. Not quite sure about Paracel. as he is a significant tanker. I'm not quite sure if he's their boat player as well. Neutral Citizen, the star infantry player of that team that I recognize, definitely one of the strongest infantry in the league as well. Of most of the other players, I have to say, if you said like you said, I don't. If they're from the console community, I do not recognize a lot of them. So I can't wait to see how they perform this match.
All right, well, it is going to be an interesting. That is for sure. Now we are going to be having a fun little game here with our casters. We're going to just see who is predicting who is going to be able to take this win. This is going to be tough, man.
Yeah.
With the maps that we just saw, I kind of like what you said before. Going into a Paracel and then a Rogue Transmission. If we do see that third map that's going to be popping up, you have to kind of give the advantage there to Nafu.
Yeah.
But really curious to see what this eXodus team is going to be able to pull off, if they can, win their first map and then maybe chain it into that Paracel Storm. We have seen some infantry teams, though, really pulling out some interesting wins on Paracel Storm. If they have good rotations, they can absolutely make an impact on this map. They don't necessarily have to own the vehicles all the time. And sometimes having all of those vehicles can be a detriment. So I think overall, I'm gonna have to take Nafu on this one.
I have to agree with you, Brett. I think the problem with eXodus just is, I mean, they're a fairly new team as far as newly put together. They've made it this far, which is excellent on their behalf. But Nafu is a powerhouse team. They're a powerhouse vehicle team, and quite frankly, a powerhouse tank, a great boat, great helo pilot, that could shut a team down on a lot of maps. And quite frankly, for eXodus, it really kind of matters about how good the rotations are on a map like Paracel or Hammerhead, where you just need to focus. You need to have that coordination between your vehicles and your infantry. Like on Paracel, like you said, with a great vehicle player, that's fine. But infantry are going to be stuck on certain flags, and they're going to need to be able to have that vehicle in the air to drop off players and move them around. And if they don't have that on a map like Paracel, that could doom the map for them.
Well, what I've been told is that when we see the helicopter come up, Dalton is the stand-in helicopter pilot. So
okay.
I've heard some bad things about that one, but I don't know. Hey, maybe he's amazing. Who knows? But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the map overview of Hammerhead. We're going to hopefully get this thing rolling here very, very soon. As you can see there, this is a snowy map. It is a fairly big map. There is quite a large traversal distance between your home flags and the center of the map. And we do see a lot of times to where, like you pointed out before, where you have, maybe the tanker and one other, maybe two others that really kind of just skirt around the edges and kind of go for that back cap flag.
Yeah, definitely. Generally, it's the tank and two infantry. Generally, it's about two that kind of assist the tank in either the push or the harass on the gimme flags. And those battles generally determine the outcome of Hammerhead, as the infantry are normally tied 1-to-1 in the center. And even with the total infantry domination in the center, so let's assume a team gets both of the B and C flags, it's rarely ever an occurrence where one team can hold those two flags indefinitely. It's usually pretty common to see a team recap at least one of those flags and continue the battle again. So a 3-flag lead does not really last on Hammerhead, which is actually a great thing for the map. It makes it very, very close most of the time, and just a great overall match to watch.
Yeah, and it does mean that when you do get those 3-flag caps, or sometimes even a 4-flag cap, it's just at a massive impact on how the game goes. It literally could mean the difference between a win and a loss. Even if you can hold that 3-flag cap for just a minute, it's pretty crazy the bleed that can actually happen on the back end of that. But one of the things, though, that this map has, I think that a lot of others don't, and I kind of like the way that they built this, is that there is a tunnel in the middle where vehicles can traverse to go through both of the middle flags. But typically we do see those teams trying to blow the ice up and make sure that is kind of blocked off.
I am so critical of teams that play this map and do not blow up the ice, because having a tank being able to get inside that tunnel and not only drop off your team and your squads to get inside those flags, but to assist that team and harass those enemies on the rafters is hugely detrimental. So break the ice as far out as you can. Make sure that that tank cannot get in there and assist the enemy team. So.
All right. Well, I think we are just about ready to get this thing rolling. If we can get a heads up here from our production guys to let us know. I think we are just going to be getting this restart here on the map, and we should be getting this thing started. But this is going to be a fantastic round, I believe. I think that even though we had talked about, Hammerhead, very, very strong influence with infantry there in the middle of the map, I still think that this is a very this can be a very vehicle heavy, or at least heavily influenced map. We have seen time and time again to where teams, they will focus everything that they have on the center two flags, and then all of a sudden they get DNA capped out. And when they try and respond to that, when they try and actually go out to one of those back flags, they end up losing the middle, and that's where we do see those 3 caps coming in, possibly 4 cap. We have seen some really, really nasty moments to where BC and D have actually been capped over, and they've been choked over there on the A side from the US team. So
and
it
Hammerhead
is
Hammerhead really tests the team's discipline too, because it's one of those maps where if you have a 3 flag hold or a 2 flag hold, you really can play the defense game. You can just sit and not be aggressive and not go for that 4th flag. And a lot of teams, go for it anyway. And some make the mistake of pushing 2 or 3 infantry on that main flag, that last flag that you need, and you end up losing your back caps. And Hammerhead is a great map where you can play those 3 flags.
Yeah. Now, as far as breakouts on this particular map, what are we expecting to see?
I'm sorry, for what?
As far as breakouts, what are we expecting to see?
So for breakouts, Hammerhead is generally pretty straightforward. It has 1 tank and about 3 or 4 snowmobiles right off the front. So you'll see the snowmobiles go straight down towards the center of the map. Generally, you'll see 1 or 2 go through the tunnel. Frequently, they'll have an LMG guy on the back of the thing, and they'll just kind of let the thing slide on the ice right all the way through, which is always an epic sight to see. And the other sometimes, and for each side, so for the RU side, generally we'll see 1 snowmobile go up to the mountains pass, and that'll drop them down the elevator shaft to the infantry or to the B flag. Whereas the US side generally will have an extra snowmobile and squad go through the back, kind of the peninsula area where there's that back tunnel that'll lead you to the C flag. And both teams generally will grab each one of those flags right off the bat. The tanks almost certainly going to grab their respective gimme flags and then move on from there.
Yeah, now we have seen a couple of times to where the Russian team, instead of going in for that, I believe it's the Bravo flag, if I'm not mistaken, it's the one over on the westernmost side of the map. We have seen a couple of times where the team absolutely just forgets about going for it and tries to go for a very quick back cap in there, which is really curious sometimes. Not sure if I agree with that play. I haven't seen it really success. The success rate for it has been, I think, 0 so far that I've cast. But it is an interesting take on it. Get those 2 outer flags first, then maybe work your way on the inside, as we stated before. But, as far as, I guess, taking a look at our vehicles here for our tankers, when they're going to be playing, do they really want to play very aggressive? Because we've actually cast a match before to where we've seen tankers be extremely aggressive. They're pushing all the way up into the other team's home flag, and they're able to do some damage. But we've also seen some moments to where that has absolutely hurt them in the long run. They die over and over and over again. They're not able really to get anything going on, and it does hurt their team in the long run. So should we be seeing more aggressive play or more passive play, or how do you kind of just split the difference in that?
So when it comes to the tank play on Hammerhead, it really kind of depends on where your other 2 tank buddies are. If they're pressuring a flag and you're kind of pushing up off that peninsula area, I mean, sometimes it can be advantageous because if you can just shove that tank right up into the flag and use your infantry to kind of cover and help with deal with the enemy tank. Whereas if you're caught out on the ice on your own while the other tank has a gunner, your tank is done for. It's toast. Fighting that 2 versus 1 battle is really, really difficult, and you can get caught off guard really quickly. Whereas defending a flag, also very easy on Hammerhead. But again, it also depends on where those 2 infantry are. If you're alone on that gimme flag against the push, it could go south. Whereas, your other infantry are capping the other flag. So you can very well see an A and D flag trade-off happen very often.
Right. All right, guys. Well, if you haven't been able to read down at the bottom below us, we are going to be having some slight server settings issues. But while we were waiting, let's see if we can't pull up that bracket real quick. I do want to take a look at just some of our matches that we did have. So one of the big ones here that we didn't really get to touch on before was Legacy versus ESF team. And that was a little bit of an upset.
Very much so. They played 2 maps. They played Parasol Storm first, and then they went to Shanghai. And ESF took both maps in very convincing fashion. I believe they took the first round by about 120 tickets, and they took the second round by 60 on Parasol. So they had a very, very strong Parasol round. All right, and I believe we're going to be heading... looks like we have a quick restart into the server, but we'll be heading into the match very, very shortly.
Yeah, we are going to get this thing going here very, very soon. And yeah, so guys, let us know in the chat, who do you think is going to be able to take this win? Is it going to be eXodus, a fairly new team coming into the scene right before we do see 2042 launching? It's pretty awesome to see some of these guys gearing up. In fact, I was taking kind of stock of some of our teams, and it's very interesting. Like, I would say like 50 to 60% of the players that are coming in have really just come in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome to see them still kind of flowing into the competitive side of Battlefield. So let us know if eXodus is going to be able to take this win, or we're going to see the old vets, Nafu, being able to just dominate here today. Obviously, I think both teams have a very good chance of being able to take this win. Myself and Gravity both going to be saying that Nafu probably going to be taking the win, especially if it goes to a map number 3. But who knows? Who knows? We could be seeing an epic upset here today. I definitely think it would be an upset if it did end up happening, but nonetheless, it should be a good match. That is for sure.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to see what happens on Hammerhead specifically. I think if eXodus has a chance to get to that 3rd map, I think this is their map to take. That infantry battle definitely could go their way. They've got great infantry, a great infantry squad, but I'm really concerned about the tank play. Justin's a great tanker, but Potato on this map has so much experience. And Justin is still fairly new to the competitive 8v8 tank scene. He's had a lot of experience both with ESF and now with eXodus, and I believe a few other short teams in the short term. But I can't wait to see that tank battle, and I don't think it'll go Justin's way. And I believe we are ready to go into the match. So Brett, are you ready?
Absolutely, man. I was born ready.
Let's do this.
As I've said before, if you're waiting on me, you're walking backwards. I don't know how that works, but it does. All right, so we are going to be starting off eXodus on the U.S. side, Nafu on the Russian side. Any advantages that we can really tell here on either of these sides?
Generally, on Hammerhead, it is really pretty even. It's one of the few 8v8 maps where it's pretty clear that you can't. I don't think you can justifiably say that there is a major advantage to either side. I mean, the flag layouts are pretty simple. If there's any flag that gives an advantage, I would say it's the A flag. The rooftop on that building can definitely be hard to take, and sometimes it's difficult to clear out infantry from the rooftop or from the insides, and even the containers. But other than that, it's pretty safe to say it's balanced.
All right, well, there's that LMG that you had talked about before. Heading on the back of the snowmobile, we are going to be seeing hopefully some epic action here as they are going to start dropping off those players in those certain areas and going straight for that C point. And this is going to be Nuzzles right now. He is going to be looking for that first initial kill. Not going to be able to find anything just yet. And it does look like he has been taken off of the snowmobile. Vale will be up and looking for those players coming around the backside. And will win out initially in some of those fights. So good job so far for both of these teams being able to get inside the point. We are going to be seeing both points actually starting to get taken over. It does look like Neutral, though, is going to be the only player over there on B as this C fight really starting to heat up.
Yep, C fight actually looks like eXodus putting a 3-man push on the Charlie flag, and Volcia will go down to Legco. But there's still 2 infantry there on the flag radius, and they're going to pick up the, looks like eXodus will pick up the B flag. C flag push looks like it is now down as Nuzzles, and the Valewind will go down, and the BC fight will now commence in that 1v1 fashion. Masteruski pushing into the A flag. Looks like a smoke grenade out. Trying to harass the tank on the flag radius. Not quite sure exactly where that tank is. It is. Looks like there's eXodus does have one infantry on the rooftop, and the flags are dead even, 2-2 right now. Tickets dead even. Brett, what's up?
Yeah, they're just kind of playing out a little bit getting some of these rats that are all the way into the back. We'll be able to clean that up. Tank is playing passive. Inside the middle, though, neutral, looking like he's going to be heating up, takes down Hulu. No helicopter there to buff up his stats, that's for sure. But we are going to be seeing both of these flags, which an interesting fight, hopefully, here onto B. Don Polo is going to be going back and forth. I think they may have actually just won his fight. Not too sure if he spotted him out or not, but yeah, we are going to be seeing some rotations coming on in towards this B flag. B flag, one of the hardest flags to actually get a hold of once you have lost it. Unless you just commit your entire team to it, which it does look like we're having a bit of a switch here. Big push over to C, but at the same time, a big push over there to B.
Yeah, Nuzzles currently towards the C flag right now. I kind of want to see where Potato is in the tank. I don't know if I saw him push midway towards the peninsula, and it looks like the tank may have gone down. It did. He's going to roll out with a new one just now, and there's one infantry around the D flag for Exodus, and it's going to be Snoopbag, and he's going to be fighting 1v1 against this tank. Mines will be placed down. We actually see another infantry down south, and this is going to be electrified. I actually kind of wonder if he's going to go for maybe a jihad on this tank. Jihads on Hammerhead, definitely uncommon with snowmobiles. It's a lot harder to kind of sneak around on an 8v8 with them. Also, they're pretty loud. So, Vitoli now going to reinforce the Delta flag, going to help stop that bleed, and she's going to get it just in time to stop that flag cap. So, excellent timing on that.
Well, this is going to come down to a 1 versus 1. Vitoli not able to win out, will go down. That means we are going to be seeing a back flag cap potentially coming on in, although Potato getting into his tank, he is going to be up and running. Oh, wait a minute. Did he get picked up over there, or was that just another infantry player who ended up getting taken down? Not sure, but Masterus is going to be up over onto the A side. Does look like he's safe over there onto Delta, as really both flags getting contested here quite a bit. Electrify does get taken down, and we are going to be seeing just trades all around, although it does look like both of the flags here for Exodus right now are going to be the ones that are flashing.
Well, A flag, and now looks like Master Risky was on the A flag, but he did get taken out. So the A flag will be retained by Exodus. Now that there's a pretty significant Nafu push onto the B flag right now. Don Polo getting caught on the ice as Nuzzles will get the kill on him with an AEK. Valsaya will get the other kill onto Lex, and looks like now the push will get returned towards the B flag. Nafu now going to be pushed towards the C flag. Leica will take out Nuzzles. And the BC flags will retain their 1-to-1 pushes right now. Vale went nice behind the just killed from behind on Hulamulu. Nafu, again, like you said, the B flag is such a difficult flag to push on due to the fact that the spawns behind are just, I mean, there's like 7 or 8 spawn locations on this flag, and they're all over the place. It's very easy to get surrounded on it.
Yes, it is indeed. So it does look like we have seen just a trade sides of the map.
Electrify going to push towards the D flag right now, going to get killed as he pops right off the snowmobile. Vitoli there in the defensive position. We do see those hover tanks in the A and D flag. Those are banned in competitive play, but you can still use them in a sense to kind of cover yourself and put slams on them, and if a tank drives by, they do have a good good spot for explosives. Mr. Ruski near the E flag, or where the E flag would be, finding Electrify as he comes off the snowmobile towards the main, or on his way towards the D flag, and he'll push his way into the A flag now. Neutral on the inside. We'll find one kill and looking for another. Not gonna quite find it yet. Gonna get a reviver. Looking for the revive on the grenade. Gonna duck from the grenade first. Not able to get that revive on the Bolsaya. And the battle for the infantry and flags gonna go back and forth still, as we predicted.
Oh, we are going to be seeing that action here in the middle, heating on up. Still back and forth. Nobody really able to take a dominant position, although it does look like the aggression is going to be over onto the Exodus side, trying to get over there towards that Bravo flag. Nice job. Don Polo does end up going down, so Exodus still going to be keeping that pressure up over onto that B. We do see Vitoli, though, all the way up on the mountain, so they're not actually going to be inside the mountain. It's going to be up top and with some straws as well, and they might be able to pick up a couple of stray shots onto the tank, as we do see the tanker here for Exodus having to pull on back towards that A side. Still seeing that infantry pressure. Master Ruski here doing a fantastic job of
wow.
nice, getting that point blank shot with the straw. That is a fantastic play there, as Justin really struggling to clear out this A site, and I think he potentially is going to be going down here soon.
This is where I mentioned he needs the infantry support to help, especially on these A flags, because these containers in the inside of that warehouse are just such a pain to clear for a tank. Short of chucking down incendiaries, I mean, the tank really doesn't have a whole lot of infantry, a whole lot of ground cover ability there. And Nafu now going to pick up the A flag. They lost the D flag for the trade, though. I'd like to see what's on the D flag just in case there's any movement from eXodus to get it back.
I do see a couple of players here from eXodus. They are going to be set up, but they get it flanked right now from Vitoli. Nice shots coming in with the P90, but not enough as they do go down. So that does mean that we will be seeing just basically a map flip there. Not too bad, but the slight advantage, I mean, just the slightest advantage here for eXodus, pretty much negligible at this point. It's coming down to just who is spawning over and over again. As
I actually love when the tank, when the gimme flags flip on this map, because it really, a team can have a significant advantage off of this. It really just kind of depends which team will A, take their gimme flag back, and B, hold the enemy flag longest. So, I mean, you can easily have that 3 flag hold, but it's difficult. I mean, do you decide to keep your infantry on the other team as anti-tank? Do you, for the new tank to roll down and recap the flag? Or do you have them, defend the flag that you've taken? I mean, it's definitely a toss-up on those flags, and it's such an advantageous position to actually have those 2 flags flipped.
Nice job there from Volcia. He's going to be able to pick up the kill with that G18. Basically a primary just in the secondary slot. And they are going to try to make their way across here. I even seen 93R this. That's not particularly common, but we'll be able to get onto that B burn. Again, this is probably one of the toughest burns in the game to actually make. And it is going to come down to a 1 versus 1. Nice job there as Emmy does get picked up. So still going to be seeing that pressure onto that B side, but not quite on the burn itself. Good long-range shots are going to be coming in to force these players off of it. Neutral here, trying to come around, get that flank, as they can try and push them out of these spawns, but just so much pressure is going to be put on here. I don't know if they're going to be able to make their way back in. Nice job, as we do see 2 kills coming on in. Beautiful placement there. I think that was going to be Emmy able to take down both of those players. Still going to be safe there onto Bravo as they get the complete wipe.
Valsoya also finding a double kill on that flag. Downpolo going to get the res on somebody. Master Ruski still harassing the hell out of the A flag right now. Actually, we can see there's 2 infantry from Nafu. Justin, 29 HP in the tank, doesn't have the infantry support. Gonna go for the rep. Almost a bad idea given the fact that there's infantry right there. The risk of losing the tank is pretty rough. It looks like one of the other player did get taken out, and A flag gonna be secure for the time being. And I believe, have the flags been retained by their original team? I believe they have, yes.
Yes, they have indeed. And Nuzzle there using the Magnum. I love this. Magnum shots coming on out. We haven't really seen a whole lot of Magnum usage in recent times. It used to be the go-to gun back, especially in the 5v5 days. Beautiful headshots there, abundance. But we do see Neutral coming on in, cleaning this up potentially. Nope, it does look like he's only able to take down the Hulu. Wow. And this is just 1 for 1 back and forth. But Emmy comes out on top with the Groza as he's able to take down 2 up top. So that is going to be a beautiful clear once again. See another player. I think he's still up on top of the mountain. Not too sure there. But yeah, this is looking really good so far for Nafu, especially since we did say before that their infantry, wasn't maybe the best that we've seen in the past, but they are definitely holding their own here.
Patoli now going to have to go up against two players from Exodus as they push into the D flag. Patoli already spotted out. She'll get killed by Snoopbag. And when the D flag looks like Potato's going to have to run back there to help defend it. The flag will definitely be gray by the time he gets back, and it could be Cap by the time he gets back with those 2 players on it. Patoli definitely does not have the time to respawn on it. She'll have to either spawn off the squad leader or take a snowmobile all the way from the main. But that could be the first 3 flag hold of the match right here for Exodus. And it is.
So we'll see how long they can actually hold on to it here. We do have Justin getting aggressive in that tank, so he might try and go ahead and push the slight advantage that they do have. And we're also seeing Vitoli now making their way back up onto Delta to try and help out as well. So where's the response actually from the middle of the map? And we've got to see maybe a push over there to the other side being successful. But right now it does look like the tank has gone down. It is going to be Justin making his way over here to help support onto this flag. And absolutely it is, as we're starting to see that lead growing now, 20 to 30 tickets here. This is a really big deal.
Yeah, Master Risky has to be able to help defend this flag, but he's actually playing. Is he playing Engineer? I believe he's playing Engineer, but he's gonna have to still deal with the tank, and he just got taken out himself. So D flag still gonna be held. Justin now gonna push the inside. This is exactly no ice broken right now, and once again, that's a huge problem. This is gonna allow the tank to get inside and do a little bit of damage and help pressure. And the LCBC, Lexid will get taken out by Justin. But the big problem is Justin's going to have to stay on the D flag for the time being, as he's going to have to defend against Potato. I would expect... Oh, I love the breakdown of where Exodus has their infantry. It's going to be 1 infantry plus Justin and the tank at the D flag, and they're going to leave 1 infantry at the A flag. We did see him sitting on top of the rooftop there. Potato will find the first shot into the tank. APS popped. And the bleed's still continuing. Justin going to come around for a second shell. We'll connect onto Potato. I'm not sure if Potato got his own. And Justin, 9 damage. Looks like his tank will fall. He's going to get some reps. He's down super low. Not enough help for him, and he's going to miss that last shot, and Potato will win the tank fight against Justin. And now, with that last infantry down, the flag...
He is winning the fight, but I think the important thing here is just how much time it took them to actually win that battle. Voltoli now goes for a counter flank of their own. Ooh, they're all the way over onto A, but gets a rocket in the face, and that's not going to happen. So we are going to be seeing a very big chunk of really tickets taking out of Nafu. 184 now to 112, about a 70-ticket lead going in the favor of Exodus. And this is something that is absolutely devastating on a map like this. As we stated before, just being able to have that 3-flag map for a minute, 2 minutes, it's so huge here out of a potentially 16 to 17-minute game. It absolutely is just spelling disaster for the time being for Nafu. But it's not over yet. You're back to a 2-2 standoff. Things have somewhat stabilized. And you know, Nafu is, like I said, they're a veteran team. They know how to play these maps. They absolutely can make this comeback.
And there's the 2 infantry push on the back. As you said, Brett, Justin holding onto that flag as long as he could, bought a ton of time for the bleed to kick in a little bit longer. They may have earned another 15 to 20 tickets just off of him moving up to the flag and dying on it. And he'll just bring up a new tank to the A flag. He's completely safe in doing that. There's still 2 infantry there on the D flag, as we see possibly somebody from Nafu up on the rooftop. It's going to Master Ruski looking for another shot onto the tank, and we did see Audacious Potato drive the tank along the peninsula for Nafu, and he is currently in a position, probably going to get on the A flag momentarily. And the D flag going to be won by Exodus again. Looks like they've won the 2 versus 1 infantry battle on the flag, and Exodus will retain or capture the D flag one more time. Potato,
Justin completely unaware that the other tank was there, not really focusing on him at all. Does go down. Only 1 infantry player is going to be up and alive for this Exodus team. But we are going to be seeing just some really good back and forth so far. The tank is going to be up. Spawns have happened, so there is going to be some infantry there. We are even going to be seeing, well, actually, this infantry player for Exodus is doing a fantastic job. I think that was Electrify there, who stayed alive for so long on A. We are going to be having that capped over. Delta is getting 1 right now by Vitoli. So we might be seeing potentially a 3-flag cap going back into the favor of Nafu. This is what we talked about before. It's not over. This team can absolutely make a comeback. Now, a big response, though, is going to be coming in from Exodus for Delta.
Yep, Vitoli's still alone on the flag. Nope, never mind. I take that back. She's not. She has the other infantry support as well. So 2 versus 2 on top of the Delta flag. That's going to be Master Ruski helping out Vitoli. Master Ruski finds the shot late. Snoopbag will take him out with the A91. And now Snoopbag going to go for the second, finds Vitoli. So Snoopbag going to be able to defend this flag, and Nafu going to lose it again. The Exodus will take back the D flag, as there is no way that Nafu is going to get back there in time. However, there is no 3-flag bleed in return. Nafu did not get that triple cap on the D flag in time, but they do have the A flag for the time being.
We need to be seeing maybe a surge here into the middle of the map, something from Nafu to gain control of a 3-flag burn. They could clear this out. It would be huge. We are going to be seeing, though, Exodus just putting some pressure in onto Bravo. Now back over here towards, I believe it is Delta, as we are going to be seeing still pressure being put on from both teams to try and grab this flag back. It is going to be won for the time being by Nafu. They have been able to win those initial infantry battles, but still plenty of time for those respawns to actually happen.
Yep, they should get at least one more respawn off of that before the flag goes gray, and there it goes. So we'll see if they got back in time. Nuzzles currently looking below towards the doorway. Not going to be able to survive. Gets rezzed anyway. And I see one player from eXodus that's Electrify that did manage to spawn there in time. And now it's just gonna matter. So there is the 3 flag cap for Nafu, the first for Nafu this round. They're gonna need to hold on to this bleed as long as they can to get back into this match.
Absolutely are. Real quick, pull up the scoreboard. Let's just take a look right now and see how we're doing in terms of KDs. Volcia 35 and 16. What is that? That is why Nafu has not been able to make any headway there in the middle of the map. Absolutely dominating in terms of infantry power. And my God, that guy is absolutely put the team on his back at the moment. So we are going to be seeing a response, though.
Just to cut in, Brett, we noticed that Potato has been on the A flag for a long time for Nafu, and he's actually prevented Justin from anywhere near the flag. So Justin says, screw it, I'm going to go towards the D flag and try to just stop this bleed. However, there's actually mines on the road, so he's going to have to take a little bit longer to get there. He's going to have to go downhill. Inside, the infantry. Veilwind going to find a double kill, and Potato going to chase him back all the way back to the main. So there's a tank chase going on the backside of the mountain.
Well, right now we do see some action heating up here into the middle of the map. B getting a heavily push at the moment. And yeah, there is the tank action that's going to be gearing up at the moment.
Don't want to be down here, though. This is such a terrible spot for a tank to be. He's down at 72 HP. We see Potato able just to point down and shoot right into the tank, and he's got people right above him. Master Ruski should put another shell into the tank as well. And Justin, I believe, should be toast here in about 2 seconds as long as that tank shell hits. Tank disabled. One more shot on the tank will do it, and it'll be and Potato will connect. So Justin's tank will go down. Now it's up to Nafu to push into the Delta flag. It's still going to be 2 infantry Electrify, and whoever else it was for the infantry squad to help defend the A flag, and they're going to have to do it against the tank and 2 other infantry from Nafu.
Nuzzle did pick up a couple of kills there into the middle to stop that push that was happening there onto those center flags. Still going to be seeing that pressure out over here onto that Delta site, as just really hot and heavy here. Not able to get control for the longest time. Nafu really struggling to get their home flag back. Been really paying attention to making sure that they will hold on to A. And Exodus just kind of answering back saying, all right, well, that's fine. We have the lead right now. We don't really have to make sure that we get a 3 cap. We've got a pretty decent lead.
Bravo flag. It looks like there's a potential of a cap here. Flag is so close to being grayed for Exodus. So close. Lex are going to fall, and boom, there's the flag going gray. Veilwind will fall. Emmy will get that kill, but is it enough? Exodus still on the flank. Volcia pushing in. G8 or no, excuse me, 39R, I believe that is. Trying to get some extra damage in. Volcia gonna dodge this grenade. Oh my God, that's a great grenade, and he survives. Amazing. Looks like he died anyway as Lex came down behind him. Veilwind also gonna fall to Polo. B flag still up in the air, but it looks like it's finally going back the way of Nafu. So close. Exodus almost had that flag.
You see another push happening over onto the A side of the map. Justin making his way down inside, trying to take care of that infantry. We'll be able to pick up at least one. I think we have Master Rusi still up and alive onto Alpha to just kind of cause some more chaos.
I'm not sure I agree with this push from Snoopbag. The A flag is not yet captured. The tank for Potato is still on that bridge towards the E flag. And there's still infantry. I believe it's Ruski down there on the A flag as well. It's either Ruski or Fatoli. And Justin still has not capped this flag, but he's going to go for the tank engagement anyway. First tank shell will connect for Justin. Potato not going to react as both tanks hit their APS and block the next shots. So the advantage for the tank battle is still going to be Justin. A flag finally going to get recapped. There's still 2 on it. Electrify for Exodus. Looking in the crate. There's a person in that crate right behind him. Sneaking around. Crate battle. Musical crates, honestly. It looks like Justin will get the kill, though. Or Snoopbag did on that player in the container. And Potato gonna swing around.
The original flags have been taken back over. It is going to be a big push, though, coming into the backside. I think this is going to be 3 infantry players or 2 infantry players and the tank, all for Nafu trying to get onto A. Justin is going to be pinched just a bit. Some straws coming in from the backside, also having to worry about those tank shells coming in as well. This is not going to be an ideal position. Down to 28 health as he is going to be getting picked up. So that opens it up for potentially another cap coming in onto this A site. No response just yet. Snoop is going to be making his way over there to Delta, but this flag will be getting neutralized and probably capped by the time that he is going to be able to make some waves over there onto that D site.
So I would 100% expect Masteruski and Legcoat to suicide out the moment that the flag gets captured here. Because honestly, they're going to need a response here. Vitoli, never mind, already there. So Vitoli will suicide and be on the D flag immediately. Masteruski gonna, I think, possibly gonna wait to see exactly how well Vitoli does at first. Finds 1 kill. Sraw from Snoopbag gonna kill Vitoli, but Masteruski, there it is. There's the suicide, gonna respawn on the D flag, and that flag is fine. 3 flag hold right now for Nafu. They had Exodus had about an 80 ticket advantage a few minutes ago, and that has been whittled down to 40, less than 40 now. And Nafu coming back in the match.
That they
B
are,
flag,
although B does get neutralized, so we're not going to be seeing that 3 flag for too long. It does look like Nuzzle is going to be downside, trying to get the cap, but not able to do so. He's pushed off, but somehow lives as Hulumulu trying to get the best of him, but just not the case. And we are going to be seeing now the 2 center flags owned by Exodus, the 2 outer flags by Nafu. But the pressure right now on B is definitely favoring Nafu. They are going to have to worry about these spawns that are going to be coming on in. Very difficult to do. Does look like they have been pushed off. I almost feel like Nafu needs to just go ahead and shift their focus to that C side of the map. It is going to be much easier to attack, much easier to get a hold of.
Justin and Potato going to go at it again. Just a friendly reminder, though, that it is so critical that Exodus hold that B flag. And, I mean, it's for Nafu, you just don't want to have your last infantry die on the inside. Potato going to win the tank fight, and once again be able to defend the A flag from Exodus getting it back. But B flag, my goodness, the infantry in the center. The Exodus doing a fantastic job. Don Polo on the C flag, going to get a kill onto Veilwind, and the flag will start going gray. But it depends on how many infantry left alive on the inside there is. The B flag has been completely cleared of Nafu, and now here comes Potato, possibly going to drop off anybody on the inside. No, not quite. D flag going to go for Exodus as well. 3 infantry versus 2 there. Lex and Don Polo will gray out the C flag as we have a 3-man squad bomb on the C flag, and it looks like Nafu are going to try to get this back.
You can see a little bit of bulldog action there. Not something you see a whole lot of, but he's going to be making the best of it right there. C is going to be going into the favor of Nafu. D now going to be getting flashing. Emmy trying to do all that he can. Will be able to pick up 1, get some help out here from his teammate as well. But Snoop is going to try and play spoiler here. Very low on health. He's not going to be able to. Good teamwork back and forth from those 2. And they should be able to get the gray out here fairly quickly. Electrify, though, he's going to have something else to say about it. Comes on in just at the last second. He's going to be able to pick up 1, but the tank should secure this site.
Absolutely, and the flag is already gray, so no more respawns in here for Exodus, so they will definitely recapture the D flag. Now, we do see 1 infantry from Nafu down on the A flag, and Justin's going to bring up his new tank that he just, after he just died to in the 1 versus 1 to Potato 2. So he'll bring up the new tank to the A flag and hopefully get on that flag and gray it, because we see that 3 flag capture again for Nafu. Infantry on the inside. Nuzzle's looking for a shot down the elevator shaft. It looks like a lot of members of Nafu in the elevator shaft right now. This is absolutely critical that they be able to break out here into the flag. And it's going to go gray for Exodus, so they're not going to be able to stop the gray, at least right now. Exodus have the chance again to have a 2 flag hold on the inside, and they're going to capture this. Exodus will now reflip the 3 flag hold, bleed against Nafu, and Nafu does not have a ton of tickets to work with, Brett.
They don't, but they are going to be working out for a potential gray out here onto this Bravo site. It's going back and forth. Nice job. That was going to be Don Polo picking up Volcia. Is a man that is absolutely on a mission. Go ahead and pull up the KDs real quick. Let's just see how these teams are
Oh,
doing. Yeah, you
man.
do see 42 and 26, 35 there for Nuzzle, 38 for another player. So they definitely showing their infantry prowess here right now. We'll see is going to be coming on in as well, picking up Legco. He does get taken down eventually, though. The flag has been neutralized, so we're not going to be seeing that 3 flag burn. In fact, A is also going to be neutralized. So if we can bounce out to that overhead map and just see where those infantry players
my
are at.
God, Brett, we're
Nafu
gonna have
has
another
2 on
flip.
A.
We're
Yep,
gonna have
and a
another-
last second
wow.
cap on B is going to be able to get that just a little bit of a 3 cap in their favor. So at this point in time,
Bravo
you're
plays
not
one
too
watch.
worried about really winning, I don't think. Like Nafu, I think absolutely could in this situation, but they're going to be able to drag these tickets down to make round number 2 much easier.
Exodus has the potential just to shut this 3 flag bleed down right now, though. The bleed is against them, and quite frankly, Nafu need to hold it as long as possible, but a lot of infantry from Exodus. Now, here's the problem. Even if they don't recap this flag anytime soon, Nafu only has 8 tickets, so the bleed not even going to be factored into the fact that Nafu just has to respawn on this flag to deal with the infantry from Exodus. It is almost with a certainty that Exodus have this round. I mean, I don't think Nafu, even with that bleed, that hold, that they could, I don't think they have the spawns to work with. They're capping the flag back now. Oh, there's a lot here. Never mind. Volsaya and Balewind going to pick up a double kill onto Hulamulu, and Legco. Emmy coming in, finds Electrify. Don Polo will kill Neutral Citizen. The flag gonna go the way of Nafu. The bleed still in effect here for Nafu with 2 tickets left for Nafu. So this is going to be a much tighter game for round 2.
Yeah, see, the point right now is, as I said before, they're not really worried about winning, I don't think. They're just going to be able to drag these tickets down to where it's almost going to be negligible. Nice job there from Vitali, keeping that back flag. That's going to be just a few more moments that they are going to be able to keep control of these sites. Now, we do see C also getting flashed here. So at the moment, we do need to see those spawns still coming in from Exodus, even though they probably don't want to at this point in time, because they are slowly but surely losing those tickets. We have a 3-man push coming in, though, from Nafu. Now, all of these guys are going to be running meds. All of them are going to be able to keep each other up. But I love this pairing coming in from Nafu, and good angles also are going to be able to take down one more. So this is going to be a possible C cap coming in. 15 tickets now to 2 with about a minute left in the game. Crazy enough.
Flag. Oh my God, Brett. The revives matter so much. They've got 1 respawn to play with here, and they're gonna capture the C flag. Brett, there's 10 tickets left for Exodus. There's a bleed against them. Exodus are all over this flag. All they gotta do is push down the elevator shaft. They don't have any time to wait. You have to push in now. 5 tickets remaining. 3 tickets remaining. The bleed is against them. They don't have time to stop the bleed. This map is absolutely going to Nafu in one hell of a comeback.
That is going to be a 2-0 win there for round number 1. Nafu, a team that we had talked about really not having the best infantry. And well, there were a couple of players on the other side, 48 and 43 there, that we saw frags going into the favor of Exo, but on the other side, it didn't matter. They had the proper teamwork. They looked absolutely fantastic in their placement and their pushes. There was a little shaky there towards the beginning, but it's not over until it's over. They saw that 70 ticket, 80 ticket deficit, and they were like, you know what, guys, we've been here time and time again. It's all good. We know what our game is going to be, and they played it perfectly. So bravo to them. They are going to be able to take that with a 2-ticket lead. Again, that is pretty much negligible. We are basically starting completely over, heading into round number 2. We are going to be flipping sides as well. So it will be interesting to see what the response is going to be, what the breakouts are going to be for either of these teams. We saw some very heavy pushes happening on the outside of the map for that Exodus team. They were able to do some damage onto Delta, but interestingly enough, you know, we talked about, again, just the control that Exodus had, or the dominance that they had in terms of getting kills on the inside, but they weren't able to convert that into an actual flag cap until much, much later on into the game.
And Brett, quite frankly, the one thing about that 2-0 win, it essentially is a map reset. They have, I mean, it is a clean round for round number 2. So either team can just go into it and do what they need to do. So I cannot wait. So with that, guys, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we will be back very shortly with round number 2 on Hammerhead.
All right, guys, we are back here for round number 2. Again, if you are just joining us, this is Exodus versus Nafu, EU versus NA. I see a lot of that in chat there and back and forth. I love it, guys. Definitely let us know who you're going to be rooting for here tonight. Make sure you're also sharing this as well. Hit that follow button down below. Make sure you share the stream. Follow us on Twitter as well, BCL Aviate, I believe. And we will definitely love having more and more people coming on in and watching this awesome action. I mean, coming down to 2 tickets, Gravity, that's something that you don't see a whole lot of.
No, and you know what? We love it when it does, because it just means that the map was absolutely so close. Both teams played their heart out, and they're ready to go into the next round. And it's just going to be pretty much a clean slate. So we can't wait.
It absolutely is. So we are going to be seeing a side switch that's going to be coming on in. It is going to be Exodus now on the Russian side. We will be seeing Nafu on the US side. We had talked about maybe some advantages, disadvantages going on in. But honestly, with the breakouts that we did see, the fact that no team was really focusing on breaking the ice there into the middle, everybody seemed to go pretty standard. Nothing too crazy was coming out of it. I would expect much of the same here in this next round.
Yeah, and the only thing that I would say that off the breakouts, what we saw maybe was an error, was we did see that snowmobile with the LMG off the front that didn't get tossed down the center aisle as probably as cleanly as it could have, and it kind of ran up against the ground there. Didn't quite work out for that LMG player.
No. We'll see if that's going to be a different case here this time. Go ahead and take a look at just our rosters once again. So we are going to be seeing Audacious Potato, Don Polo, Emmy, Hulu, Lego, Lex, Masteruski, and Voltoli for our Nafu side. On Exodus side, Justin, Electrify, Nuzzle, Snootbag, Neutral, Vale, Volcia, and Kale. And Electrify actually had a pretty rough game that last time. I think he was only able to get about 8 kills. Not too much of an impact. I don't know. It seemed like he was really struggling to go for those flanks and hold on over there, especially onto A. We saw him over onto the A side, really not able to do as much damage as maybe he would have liked to. If he can kind of maybe step it up here in this next round, that's going to be a really, really good good point here for his squad. But we are going to be getting these things going, and yes, snowmobiles aplenty. We are going to be having our LMGs out and about as well.
Yep, we did see Emmy on the back of the snowmobile for Nafu this time. And he'll be taking that shot down the fairway, pretty much right down the ice path in the center flag. And here we go. And it's going to be Hulumulu as well with his own. Right down the center, nice clean path. We'll find 1 kill off the front. Veilwind it looks like they're gonna trade. Electrified will get the kill, and it looks like Nafu gonna take a nice, easy, clean pickup off the C flag.
That they do, and oh, look at that, Vitoli trying to be sneaky, but Electrify, he knows what's up. He's going to be able to get that kill, get into that B side. Now, Justin poking his head in here into the middle of the map. This could be dangerous, but the ice hasn't been broken, so does give him an opportunity to maybe get a couple of stray kills off of these players coming out of that C point. And so far, this is very, very standard. Nothing too crazy.
Nope, it's a pretty straightforward opening for each team. Each team does have their respective B and C flags that we expected them to have. And it looks like we have a drop coming in from one of the teams. I did see that on the scoreboard real quickly. And it looks like it's going to be Nafu, so they're going to be a player down for a little bit here.
We'll definitely see if that's going to be a massive impact if you can get in fast enough. May not actually matter, but Volcia, a guy that we talked about last time, just absolutely crushing it. Well, he's going to be on the warpath. He's probably not too happy that they did lose that first round. We'll see if he's going to be able to make some waves. As he's going up against Hulumulu here in just a few moments, trying to hold on to the C side, still with that LMG in hand.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it's always just to follow up with the Volcia thing. Sometimes when you have such an epic round like that, you do so well in a competitive game and you lose anyway, sometimes it could tilt a player, and sometimes you get a little frustrated going into that second round. So we'll see if he's able to do as well this round as he did the first time.
Absolutely. And still, I love this. We do have Lex making his way over here towards this B side. Love the aggression coming out from him. They are not wanting to say die at all, but C flag, it is going to be getting completely grayed out. We do see him starting to win it back. That player that is gone, definitely hurting him at the moment. And now Emmy making his way over here using an M16A4. That is a gun that we don't see a lot of, but he is definitely going to be using it here.
We actually just saw Justin in the tank go straight through the tunnel, and he's going to engage Audacious Potato. once again, the benefit of destroying the ice is just, it's so critical. Justin, gonna fall anyway. It looks like he's gonna get double teamed, but the tank for Potato will go down as well. So both tanks for each team will fall. But
So
once
I mean,
again,
that's
nice.
not is that a worth it exchange in that regard? I mean,
In this regard,
I guess in this instance it is. We are going to be seeing that A flag getting capped over, but I mean, he should be able to get back into the map here fairly quickly. Good call.
Absolutely. I mean, in this regard, it looks like it was Nafu going to take the A flag, but in the desperation push that they had there, I mean, they wouldn't have been able to stop that capture. But you know, at least with both tanks being down, the other tank, Justin can get back to the A flag really quickly, excuse me, Potato can get back to the A flag really quickly.
So real quick, let's pull up the scoreboard and see if that 8th player has been able to join on in. He has. Okay, so Leko is back in. We should be seeing this stabilizing here, but how much damage is going to be dealt? So far, only about 20 tickets or so have been taken off the scoreboard. We do see him starting to get into that B site. It's about halfway grayed out. This is looking good, actually, here for Nafu. They've got about a squad or so left onto B. They get the full gray that's going to be going down. So they are going to be able to stabilize inside the map. Exo, though, able to leak a few more players into it, trying to get control of the C site.
Yep, push towards the C site from XCal right now. No other player in for Nafu anywhere near the flag. So the flag is going to go gray before they get back. Hulamulu looks like Emmy right behind him, just going to try to jump right into the C flag. But totally on the mountain looking for tank damage. And we'll see the tank of Justin go around the peninsula once again towards the A flag in the meantime. But Hulamulu on the C flag right now. Going to find one kill into XCal. Looks like Nafu going to be able to defend. Snoopbag finds the kill onto Hulu. And there is a capture for eXodus here.
It is Don Polo making his way on in. His teammates doing a great job of cleaning this up. We have all of them coming down through that elevator shaft. Lexi is going to be able to get that first initial kill. And it does look like Leko does get taken down by Vale with 2 kills of their own. Emmy, now all of a sudden, he was the last player alive. And I think that they have been cleaned up except for Hulu, who's managed to stay alive all the way into the back of that Charlie flag. But the foothold is there. And eXodus, well, they're going to be able to cause a lot of damage.
Look at what eXodus had to do in order to just hold the A flag from Nafu. They had 4 infantry with the tank on A. Justin died in the tank, and he's going to bring up a new one, but they had to pull a lot of infantry off the C flag in order to make that happen. So that there's it's pretty obvious as to why that defense on the C flag failed from eXodus. But looks like Justin going to push through the center again, and they'll be dropping off more players inside.
Do see Exo now over onto that B site. They do have a bit of a squad. It looks like they are going to be getting pressured here. No, actually, no. That's not where they're going to be at. It's going to be over there onto that C side still, trying to make those plays. Justin now is going to be back up over here onto the outside of the map. They are going to be over here for Delta. Secure that here for his team. We do have a tank, though, coming back in onto A for Nafu, trying to get their home flag back. 20 tickets, though, Gravity, with all that we've seen grayed out. I think Nafu did a really good job of not giving up that 3rd flag.
I think they did a great job. Yeah, and I think again, I think the hazard that eXodus had, that they needed to bring more infantry to stop Potato to come back to the A flag, was actually crucial in Nafu getting that C flag back, and it worked for them. So, and now they're going to push towards the B flag. There's no 2 flag hold right now, or 3 flag hold. Nafu gonna lose. Looks like they might end up losing the A flag again for the time being. D flag gonna get picked up by eXodus once again, and there is gonna be a 3 flag hold possibly. Nope, I take that back. Nafu is gonna get the A flag back. They'll be fine.
And Nafu starting to stabilize here, looking pretty decent. And still, nobody has taken the ice out into the middle. Justin's like, all right, guys, you don't want to do this? We're perfectly fine with just chilling out here at the top. And that was Justin taking down Vitali. I thought Vitali may have suicide there for a second, but not going to be the case. Justin did take some damage, though. 47 health. I think that was some slams that were actually posted up there. Now the ice is starting to break, but on the other side, Potato's like, well, if Justin can do it, surely I can.
This just goes to show you how crucial it is, that ice path in the center, and just shows you why Hammerhead is such a good map. You know, without that ice broken, it just allows for this versatility of the tanks, and this might be a match where I've actually haven't seen this much
Oh.
tank play between these.
How did Potato lose that? Potato lost that. He came in with a full health tank against Justin, who was actually damaged, and he loses that battle. That is a huge loss there for Nafu. On the backside of this, we're also going to be seeing A getting grayed out and getting captured. 3 players go down into the middle of the map. Everything is going wrong for Nafu now.
The Exodus rotations in the Justin essentially turned into a clown tank. There were 3 infantry spawns on top of him, which allowed him not only to have double reps, but also rocket support into Potato, and it won Justin the fight. So great play by Exodus there.
Oh my God, Snoot did manage to get over there onto that Delta flag. We do see a fight over onto A. In the meantime, though, center flag, oh, it is heat up. Don Polo doing some work, but it's just not enough. We are just seeing time and time again these battles not going their way into the middle of the map, and well, this is quite frankly scary. If they get wiped out here into the center, Exo is just going to have a field day on this site, but does look like they managed to get those spawns in just at the nick of time to make sure that they will be able to keep that pressure in. We do have Hulu also coming down through that elevator shaft with Don Polo, but immediately they do get taken down. So it just seems like right now, nothing that Nafu can do is going to work. They stabilized at the start, but now, well, it's all falling apart.
So right now, Nafu has 2 massive plays that they're going to do right now. First, they're going to have a huge spawn and a nice kill into neutral here from Lex. But they're going to push the B flag really hard, and if they can get it before Exodus gets back, that would be great for them. The other second play is that tank going around for Potato around towards the D flag, and it looks like he's actually being stopped. Justin going to intercept him on the bridge to the north, and it looks like there's somebody. It's going to be electrified with that rocket. Justin, or this push by Potato, is going to be shut down. So at the very least, and we see the B flag go gray and go back in the favor of Nafu. So at least they've stopped the bleed, Brett, and Nafu now can make another push around towards the D flag and continue towards possibly getting that third again.
Yeah, well, this isn't the worst. I mean, this is basically the same exact position that we saw before in terms of our score lines. About 60, 50 tickets or so in the favor of Exodus about this particular mark. So definitely not bad, but you got to think that, well, Nafu, they're doing all that they can just to make sure that they're keeping this thing close. And we do see Potato over here onto the A side. They are going to be winning out in the burn so far, but that nice flank is going to be really tying him up where he's not going to be able to do much. Incendiary is probably going to be coming out here pretty soon. Getting on top of the building, this is something that I don't think we've really talked about too much so far, but being able to get that high ground position really affords you a huge advantage in this site.
Master Ruski with the rocket from the top of the mountain got that straw kill onto whoever for Exodus it was on the top of the building. So huge shout out to them, whoever it was from Nafu that got that kill. And it looks like the tank of Exodus, Justin going to push around the peninsula, dropped actually a few infantry out in the tunnel. Nuzzles trying to push inside the B flag or C flag. Will find 1 kill, gets taken out by Don Polo. Inside up above, Veilwind will kill Don Polo in return for that. And it looks like the push from Nafu onto C flag has once again been neutralized. But right now, Exodus pushing towards the B flag, Brett.
Just Exo right now, just unrelenting. They are fantastic here on these pushes so far. We do see B almost grayed out. Nice job here from Don Polo, though, able to clean up the rest of those players onto B. They will start to transfer back over here towards that C side. Already an attack is developing. 2 players are going to be on Charlie. They are going to be able to get that gray out potentially here to start it out. Now it does look like Electrify. He's going to be trying to play a little super sneaky over here. Does get caught out though. One of his other teams are going to be able to spawn back in, but back on inside here for that C site. As we do see Exo gearing up a full 4-man push is going to be coming on in. Smokes aplenty.
Huge 4 or 5 man push from Exodus onto the C flag. They absolutely need to recapture this, and they're going to cap it really quick. Hulu Mulu, actually they're not going to cap it. There are so many infantry from Nafu here. Hulu will find 1 kill. Don Polo going to find another. Lego actually going to clean up the kill. But it looks like that push, that was a huge push with all the smokes, and they just got wiped by Nafu. That couldn't have gone any worse for them.
No doubt about that. It almost like the smokes actually were a negative for them, but we do see those spawns coming in on the other side of the map. Now the transition is going to be coming down. 5 players here are going to be making their way across. And as you can see there on your scoreboard, Nuzzle top of the scoreboard at 21 kills. He's definitely locking it down here for his squad, but yeah, Hulumulu does get taken down, but really good back and forth. Imi and Leko both going to be able to pick up one of their own. And I think that they may have been able to stop this B burn. Not too sure. Nope, they haven't yet. As we do see a fight developing down below. Is going to be eventually won here. Yes, by Nafu. So they do hold on to this 3 cap. We do see the tank, though, all the way on the outside with Electrify trying to keep him up. But this is the way that they're going to be able to make themselves come back into this map.
Okay, so now eXodus has 2 plays. They need to either dump everything back from in one of the entrances or B and C, or they need to dump everything onto Electrify's tank and Justin's tank right now. Because with those 2 flags being held cleanly by Nafu, they have the room to suicide some infantry out of the center and move them to those A and D flags, which is going to make these pushes from Justin a lot worse.
Totally does get taken down on top of the building, so that means that no pressure for that high ground position, but we do see a tank coming out of spawn. So Nafu, they're going to be able to get a really good pinch here onto that A site. Vitoli also going to be respawning back up. Does look like the potato go down? No, he's just going to be out getting those repairs in as fast as possible, but he's now getting shots in from both sides. He's down to about, what, 14 health or so, needing to get off of that position, make sure that he will not go down. That means that A is going to get neutralized. A is going to get capped back, as we do see now Exo being able to stabilize 131 to 133, again taking this down to as close as it possibly can be.
Yep, we just saw Vitoli find another kill onto Electrify, trying to recapture this A flag. As Brett just mentioned, tickets dead even now after that huge 60 ticket gap a few minutes ago. 130 to 130. A flag going to go back the way of Nafu, and I believe all of Exodus got wiped off of it. They sure did. New Exodus pushed down the hallway of the B flag. A dangerous tunnel if there's not enough infantry there to defend to push through. And Volcia will break through first, finds 1 kill into Emmy. Revive not gonna, we'll find the revive, didn't quite see the bar there. And they're gonna break through into the B flag, so now it all depends. Will we see the suicides out from Nafu? They need respawns quickly on the B flag. Dom Polo up above, gonna get taken out by neutral, and this flag actually might go gray in favor of Exodus, but Nuzzles gets taken out by Emmy, and I don't think they're gonna get this flag, Brett.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. The pressure is going to be on, though. Nafu, they have the spawns. That is for sure. Making sure that they are going to be able to push them on out. They are going to be winning the burn. Vale waiting for the spawns of his own to go ahead and come back in for another attempt at this B side. To go down, though, very rapidly. As it's only going to be up to Hulumulu left up and alive to make this play happen, and he's not going to be able to. Takes just enough damage on that fall to where he will not be able to win in that 1v1. So B still highly contested, but looking like it's going to go into the favor of Exo for the time being. A is going to be getting contested as well. We do see Justin, well, he's going to be making his way potentially over there towards that A side. Nope, let's decide to go ahead and back on up. But like we talked about before, B is going to be here for Exo.
Yep, we see neutral right now on the inside flag, trying to defend from anybody from Nafu, from Nafu coming down from the C flag right now. Hulumulu watching the other entrance opposite the side of neutral. Gonna get that kill as the doors closing. A great shot with that LED5. And the D flag now blinking. Hulumulu still on the inside. Hemi now above. Not a whole lot of infantry right now for combat in the inside, as we do see the tank of Potato now gonna push the D flag. Tickets 118 to 109, a slight lead for Nafu on round number 2 here on Hammerhead. One shot into the tank for Potato. Justin didn't quite see it coming. APS is going to get popped, but oh boy, there's a lot of infantry from Exodus here. Potato may have came to the wrong neighborhood. Justin getting some reps. Potato down to 9 HP will pop, and Electrify will help defend the D flag from that Nafu push.
Still keeping it very, very close here, but remember that 2-ticket advantage there from Nafu. Well, it might actually come into play here towards the end. It's going to be crazy. That is for sure. So we do have another push gearing up for that C flag. 3 players now from Nafu, and possibly one coming in from Elevator Shaft as well to get a really good pinch coming in. Vale trying to go back and forth, not quite connecting with the shots. He will be able to pick up one. Not going to get 2, though. It's just so many people there for the revives as well. And that's what's really going to be mattering here, is making sure that you are sticking together with your team to get those revives. The buddy system, basically, in effect. As soon as your guy goes down, you trade out the kill, get that revive in. Now, Electrify, well, he's going to be able to stay alive. Hadn't seen anybody spawn in. Oh, how did nobody spawn in? You got to think that he's calling out, spawn, 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 spawn. But no, instead, they go over to Bravo, spawn in. Maybe they thought there was a big push gearing up.
I don't know. It's just, Electrify was hanging out on his own at that flag for so long. Unfortunately, just did not have anybody to help him. Now, B flag going to get flanked from 2 different directions. So it looks like somebody's going to come down the tunnel. Neutral going to be still around the flag radius, still defending the flag from anybody coming down C from Nafu. Meanwhile, looks like that tank on the left side of the map, we see it coming around. Potato going to make this push again towards the D flag. Infantry behind him, infantry in front of him. Justin already knows it's coming this time around, and Potato going to make that push. But again, Potato doesn't have any help. APS is pop for Potato. Rocket from behind will connect from the straw, and another shot from behind. The critical shot from behind will get the tank in the rear end, and Potato's tank's going to go down. Another odd push.
Where was the infant? We had one on A, so that should have freed up at least one, unless they're trying to go for a heavy push here on B, which they are winning out for the time being on Bravo. So they may have taken that extra infantry player and said, you know what, let's put him in the middle of the map. Let's go ahead and overwhelm these Exo guys so that we can actually take control here. But it might actually backfire. We're seeing on the other side C starting to get capped over. Emmy, well, he's going to be setting up on top, trying to make sure that they can get this cap, but it's consistently getting pushed off, and it's just extending this potential cap more and more. And we do see the response coming on in, only down to a 1 versus 2 here, as Vale will be able to win that out. And I think they've been able to clear them off of the cap at C. And yes, it's looking like Exo is going to be able to hold on to the middle of the site, but the last second, Vitoli, Emmy, and Don Polo all going to be able to pick up kills. They flood into C, and they are going to be able to keep this in a 2-2 flag setup.
God, I love Hammerhead. All that action, and it still ends up being status quo. No flag gets changed. B and C still get taken respectively for each team, and the battle on the ice for the tanks are going to determine which flag gets taken next. Justin backing away from Potato right now, who's getting the advantage of the tank shells. Justin down to 58 HP, and Potato gonna push 2 infantry from Justin on the far right side of the far left side of the map. Gonna swing around, hopefully around Potato's tank. Justin just doing some reps, trying to defend against Potato as he pushes him right point blank. Straw from Ruski from behind, gonna get that kill onto Justin. Potato now might actually have the infantry advantage as he moves towards the B flag. He's got to clear out Electrify first. He's putting some straws into him. APS will block the second shot, but now 2 infantry from Nafu. Oh, tank will go down. So even without the tank, though, the D flag currently under attack. Electrify is going to have to run back there as he starts making his way right now. Justin will respawn on the flag to help defend the cap. Finds 1 kill into Legco. Probably going to fall from the... Oh, is he going to get shot from the ice? He has to know that Electrify's on his way. Electrify will arrive just in time, and Potato will go down. It looks like it... No, maybe not. Ruski, we're going to spawn.
Nice.
He'll find 1 kill into Justin. Is this flag a toss-up? No, Nafu will finally reclaim the D flag and maintain and finally gain a 3 flag hold.
That is going to possibly be the nail in the coffin here for Exo if they're not careful. Now, A is flashing. We see 2 players gearing up for an attack. They have managed to make their way inside that warehouse, but they're going to have to clear out the top side of this building, which is going to be difficult, especially since they don't have anybody up on top of that mountain throwing straws their way. But Vitoli taking quite a bit of damage. We do see the response here from Nafu. They've already spawned in a couple of players. We got another one over there in the shipments. So they probably are going to be good here onto A, and I think only 1 player. Yep, he has been able to clean that up. So this was a moment right now that Exodus absolutely had to clear out some other flag. Now we are going to be seeing it getting up to about a 30-ticket advantage in the favor of Nafu. The veterans really showing why they are the vets, why they are the champs for so long that they have been. And it's really going to be really hard for Exo to be able to make this comeback this late in the game. Not impossible, but just very difficult.
Very much so, and their infantry is really going to be needing to take that C flag. We see them making a push towards it right now. Valsaya going to make one push down the main catwalk in the center, just near the submarine. Going to get a revive onto Nuzzles and make his way towards the C flag. Infantry below comes in the door. Going to jump left and right and dodge it. Not going to be able to dodge enough. 39R will get the kill into Valsaya, and it looks like he may have gotten revived by Nuzzles there. Infantry, yeah. Oh boy, all over the place, Brett.
Very, very good revives. That's what I'm talking about, man. That buddy system, it is critical. Got to make sure that you're getting those reses in as quickly as possible. C has been neutralized. We see a big push, though, starting to gear up here for B, and it's going to be all up to one player here from EXodus to try and make this play. Can they actually do that? Well, he's going to be able to spot out one, but not in the best position. Smokes, unfortunately, are all that he has, and yeah, that's not going to be getting you a kill anytime soon. And well, he finally is able to do the damage that he needs to, but very low on health, and he's out of position, which means that Hulu is going to be able to capitalize on it. Comes around the back, and they're going to be able to get the cap.
Yeah, and quite frankly, Exodus really, really needed that cap on the B flag, but he was just alone, and the response from Nafu to hold B was absolutely critical. So they will still hold that advantage, and no counterblade from Exodus, which was definitely possible there, will happen. Electrify currently on the A flag. Will find one kill with the ACWR, dropping some smokes around the flag, trying to make sure that he's in flag radius. Audacious Potato in the dead center of the flag will get the kill into Electrify, and I believe that will be the end of the Exodus push. Nope, there is one more player there. Vitoli, Snoopbag is, oh my god, he's at 1 HP, just hanging out. He's, oh, poor Snoopbag. And that'll be the end of the Exodus push on the A flag.
So with about 40 tickets or so left here for Exodus, they've got to make the push now. Go ahead and bring up the scoreboards here, and let's check out just real quick how the damage is actually panning on out. You do see Exodus. Well, they're definitely calming down on their kills. It's not as crazy as it was before. Valsaya, well, it looks like he's actually been kept in check this game. 14 and 20, not going off like he was before, and that really could be the reason why we've seen them in this deficit at the time being. And Nafu, just really good job at stabilizing. None of their players really standing out, but also none of their players really holding back the team. Everybody doing their part and everybody chipping in. So Nuzzle is going to be trying to make his way over here in top glass, not going to be able to make that the case, as he's going to go ahead and back on out. 33 tickets now left for them to make this play. Remember, at this point in time, every single respawn matters. So these guys, they cannot be throwing their lives away.
Yeah, they definitely need to. I mean, even if they play defensive, Brett, the clock, they were down to 4.5 minutes. I mean, if the flags don't go anywhere, this is gonna come down to the clock. And you know, in that situation, Nafu will win because they took the first round, and because they have this huge ticket advantage to follow up on. Xtail with a nice kill into Emmy. 39R gonna follow up. Will not get that kill. Veilwind will get the kill. And it looks like we're gonna have a flag swap between the C and B flags, as Exodus gonna take the B flag, and Nafu. Down the hallway comes Neutral. Nafu gonna pick up the C flag. Neutral looking for the 44, not gonna get one. It looks like he got one kill, did not get the second.
Oh, Valsaya, he's gonna try and poke on in, but no dice. He does end up backing on out. Look at this though. We got Potato. Well, he's gonna be a little bit audacious here and make his way up top. We'll be able to help out his infantry brothers and getting a couple of these kills in the middle of the map, because it goes ahead, dives on out. I like this play coming in from him. Still hasn't taken down completely in the middle of the map, that ice. So interesting here to see that developing. Snoot, though, on top. He's going to try and get a couple of rockets in. Don't think that one actually connected, but it did do the job of backing up that tank. Whether that's going to actually help them out or not too sure here, because they don't have pressure really anywhere on the map. I mean, middle of the map still looks like Nafu is going to be able to hold their own fairly easily.
Master Ruski is in such a critical, awesome position here. He is preventing Justin from coming around this corner, and he's already called out that Justin's coming around, so Potato will come around definitely, or make the play towards the D flag. But Master Ruski finds one kill onto Electrify there, and again, and there comes the tank, the response from Potato. Justin gets called out, he gets trapped, gets hit by a straw, and now the tank is going to push him all the way back into the D flag. And this is actually a huge problem for Exodus because they can't make a push to the A flag in this remaining 2.5 minutes or 19 tickets that they need to get that bleed to win the match. And this could be absolutely critical for them.
They had to win this fight over on C, and they just get completely wiped up. I think that was 6 members that spawned up here for NAF. They knew exactly what was going to be coming their way. Really good job on whoever was the team leader who called that out, and able to make sure that they had the reinforcements exactly where they needed to. Remember, they are perfectly okay with this game going down to the line because, well, right now, Exodus, they have to win by 3 tickets or more in order to take this full map. That doesn't look like that's going to be happening. 17 tickets left as 55 here for NAFU. They are not looking like they're going to be slowing down anytime soon. No pressure on any of the back flags just yet. It's all in the center of the map.
Yep, 2 minutes remain on the clock. 15 tickets for Exodus. It's actually more like 13. I mean, this is going to be really, really close, Brett. I don't think... NAFU needs to have a huge blunder on one of these flags, and quite frankly, infantry dominance needs to make a huge play either on the A flag or the C flag for Exodus. And we see somebody on the rooftop on the A flag for NAFU. There's a 2-man push. Vitoli in the tank gonna have to defend against the 2-man push from Exodus. And quite frankly, I don't think with the tank Vitoli gets swatted by Electrify. Now it's just the tank on the flag. It's not. Well, it is gray, so it is going up in favor of Exodus. Justin now coming around the backside from the ice. Potato going to get flanked in the rear end. Repairs go out. Repair from Bertoli going to go down. Potato getting shot on 2 ends. Justin misses his second tank shell, and the tank will go down. A flag will go back up for Exodus, but they've lost the B flag in the process, so no 3 flag hold for them.
Not only did they lose the B flag, but they got completely wiped out. So Justin, well, he's going to have to serve as a spawn point. Comes on into that middle side of the map. Maybe he's going to be able to drop off a couple of these players. They're going to try and get into the C flag as quickly as possible to get this down. I mean, they have literally 3 tickets that they can work with. I don't know if their whole team is spawned up just yet, but they're going to power burn this C flag right now. And now Fu, they know exactly the position that they're in. Justin, he's actually going to be playing inside almost as a guard to make sure that he can maybe pick up a couple of these players, transferring over to that C side. Vale is going to be back up, though. He spots out 2 coming on in. Not going to happen. Hulu and Lexi both going to be able to pick up kills. We're going down to 3 tickets left up, and this is all it here, boys. We're coming down to the last seconds of the game, 2, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, Exodus not able to make it happen. NAFU take it in a 48-3 overall, and this wasn't even their map pick.
Huge win for NAFU there. First off, the Exodus advantage in the first round was so spectacular, and the NAFU play in order to get back into the game after that 80-ticket deficit about midway through was fantastic. But now, NAFU showing why they are one of the best teams. The tank play all the way around the back was fantastic. The play on the infantry side was fantastic as well. They defended the flags constantly, and they had a few times where they completely wiped Exodus off the 2 and center flags.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I think it really just shows how well built that team is. The fact that they lost a player at the very start and they were only down 20 tickets. They were able to hold off that potential flag burn. I don't know for how long it was grayed out, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but eventually NAFU was able to stabilize. They prevented that 3 flag cap from really doing any more damage than that. And they just absolutely looked top notch. That is the NAFU team that I think we all expected to see. On the other side, though, I really got to point this out, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but Volcia, where were you at? We saw him dropping 40 kills in that first game. Barely was able to get 20 here in round number 2. And honestly, he was a non-factor for the majority of round number 2. You think that if he has the same performance that he did in round 1, all of a sudden, the middle of the map looks completely different. How many times did they lose out over and over and over again in the middle? We're not able to grab those flags.
Yeah, definitely a factor for round number 2. Volcia, as you mentioned, just played so well round number 1. And round number 2, it fell actually to Neutral Citizen, who topped the board in the inside for infantry for Exodus. And with that, guys, we'll be taking a short break, and we'll be headed to map number 2 when we return.
All right, guys, we are back, lock, cock, and ready to rock here for map number 2. But wow, just real quick, let's just go over map number 1 just for a few seconds. So first of all, that was going to be EXodus' pick. That was their pick. And we go into round number 1. It's actually looking really good for EXodus. They come out with about a 70 ticket advantage mid-map. And for whatever reason, they definitely start dropping the ball. They look good in the middle. They're not able to capitalize, get those caps there into their favor. Nafu really showing their veterancy, able to make the comeback. Comes down to a 2-ticket win. Absolutely insane, Graf.
Absolutely. I mean, 2 tickets, like I said, you get a map reset pretty much for round number 2. They had played excellent infantry in the middle of the whole round. They nailed the Nafu just came back just at the end with that extra little bleed, and it won them the round. However, round number 2, they just weren't able to get that 3 flag hold, and Nafu, they quite frankly dominated the inside at times, and they wiped out EXodus just a few times, and it really made the difference as far as ticket bleed goes.
Oh, it did. Nafu looked like a completely different person. We start out round number 2, and actually, with just probably about a minute or so into the round, Nafu actually drops a player. We go and we see just a few moments of a 3-cap in the favor of EXodus. It looks like, well, this is just going to be a repeat, right? 70, 80 tickets, EXodus is going to be able to take the lead. Nope. Not the case. Actually, only 20 tickets or so drop. We see flags going back and forth, getting grayed out, staying neutralized, but never really capitalizing on that 3 flag bleed that they needed. And Nafu was able to do it long enough to get their 8th player into the map and make sure that they are going to be able to stabilize. And eventually they were able to take that lead, take that win. They looked fantastic throughout the whole game. Honestly, I don't really think that they ever lost control throughout that second round. They looked like they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they just did it. Everything that EXodus tried to throw at them, well, Nafu was able to counter and then some. So fantastic job from them. They were able to end that out with a 46 ticket advantage. It actually went down to time. It was 46 tickets to 3, something that I actually haven't seen a whole lot happening here recently in these Battlefield 8v8s going down to that time, but it did in this instance. And we might be seeing that more often with these 4 flag maps going through with these 2 teams because they are very closely matched, but Nafu just slightly better on that map pick. Now, going into map number 2, it is going to be here on Paracel Storm. And we talked about this being the pick here for Nafu. 1, it's going to be on an EU server. 2, it's their map pick. And 3, they're the vehicle team. They're supposed to be the team that's better on vehicle maps.
Yeah, and quite frankly, Brett, I don't know for sure who will be in the scout helo for EXodus. I don't know their scout pilot. I know for Nafu, it's Hulamulu, and with an EU ping, that's going to be fantastic. Also with an EU ping, we have to remember that the TV missiles, unless EXodus has an EU boat player, that TVs with high ping is quite difficult to control at times. So EXodus will go into this match very, very possibly with a pretty significant disadvantage early on.
Quite possibly indeed. As you can see right there, we have our map overview playing. Very well done here from our production team. And that B flag map can be a banger, that is for sure. But I think for as crazy and as loved that B site is for a lot of players who play it, I think really that C and that D flag, those are where we really see most of the action. That's where we really see most of the swing points happening is on the south side of the map.
Yes, definitely. Those 2 flags, the CD flags, are absolutely critical, and we will see a lot of action on this map. We'll see the boats go there, the scout helos go there, and most of the infantry tunnel up inside either the trenches or near the flags, especially around the C flag, or the buildings themselves. Those can have the walls blown away, but quite frankly, it's the safest spot ever to hide from the helicopter and the boat because you can just hide on those stairwells. And if you dump 3 or 4 infantry on the stairwells, you can get a quick cap, and you can hold quite a while from another team trying to recap the flag.
That you can indeed. Now, for those of you who may just be joining, you don't really know some of the rules that we have in place here for this map. This is typically a 5 flag map. No, we are not playing Conquest Large. That's just how the map is built. We are not going to be seeing Echo coming into play, which means that we will not be seeing that Little Bird coming into play down towards the south. Now, Incidentally, up towards the north, we do see a boat that is going to be spawning in up there. That is also off limits. So only the boats that spawn in at main, only the little birds that spawn in at main are going to be allowed. And we are going to be seeing only 4 flags in play. As we stated before, that 4 flag situation to where it could possibly lead to a very, very close and very intense match here towards the end, especially with how closely these two teams are geared up.
And Parasol Storm is one of those maps where rotations matter. The ability for a team to move from one squad to the other, from one player to another, to hit another flag quickly. And it's, in the past, Parasol is a map that, if your team can't do this, you get locked out onto one flag very quickly. You need to be able to transition to the boat. You need to be able to transition to the scout helicopter, and they can dump you off on the B flag or the rooftops or the C and D flags. And if you can't do that, taking one of those rib boats across the map is going to buy the other team tickets, and it's going to make you very vulnerable.
Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Now, while the rib boat can be very good if you can catch a little bird off guard, they're definitely no match when the little bird knows it and he is looking for him. We have seen before where teams get absolutely just thrashed because the little bird is able to just pick up all of these players trying to go for these outside flags and just not able to make it happen. So definitely look forward to whoever wins that air battle to be able to start picking off some of these stragglers going around to these outside flags. And then also that tag team battle that we've seen before, being able to have that helicopter work with that boat, going back and forth, making sure that they are going to be able to support each other throughout that game. But for eXodus here, Gravity, what are they going to have to do? It is, as we said before, primarily infantry heavy team. So with this map being as spread out as it is, having water in between 2 of these 4 flags, what do they need to do in order to come back and make this map their own?
Well, I feel like this is one of those few maps where they might actually need to try to stretch Nafu thin. They might need to win those infantry engagements on 3 or 4 flags at a time. If they feel like they have the infantry advantage, they need to be able to fight on multiple flags at the same time, where the helicopter and the boat cannot be on those flags. This will give them the 1v1 or 2v2 advantage on certain infantry flags without the boat being present, and it'll allow their boat time to maneuver around as well. So I think that's a significant advantage for them.
All right, well, it looks like we are going to be getting this thing started in just a few moments. 30 seconds to be certain. U.S. team is going to be on eXodus. We are going to be seeing Nafu on the Chinese side. Any advantages at all for either of these sides?
I think it's pretty obvious that the U.S. side has the advantage, especially in scout helicopters. The Z11 is always noted to be just the terrible, clunky helicopter with the big tail that, gets caught on everything and isn't as maneuverable. Conversely, you can get shot out of the little bird a little bit easier. But for a second there, can we actually see can we get a tab on the player counts to see if we have any substitutions for each team? It looks like each team has everybody back from the original roster. So here we go. Hulu Mulu in the scout helo for Nafu. Gonna dodge the first TV coming out and drop his team off on the B flag. Scout helo for Exodus gonna drop a few players off as well. Hits the pole. Gets knocked immediately. Gonna get knocked down to 53 HP and get out of there. Does not want to have to fight the scout helo 1v1 without half health. And he's gonna get chased. Stinger from Vitoli will get the kill into Electrify in the scout helo.
So that could be a huge loss coming on in, and immediately Nafu is going to be able to take a 3 flag advantage. We haven't even seen A being capped over yet. This is absolutely dominating performance coming out from Nafu right from the start. Now we do see B site starting to get neutralized here in just a few moments. Possibly, I don't know. Infantry is going back and forth. Does look like they are starting to get taken down. Potato actually doing some work with the UMP of all things. That's a crazy gun, that's for sure. Don't really see that too often, but he is making it happen. That is certain. We do have him going back and forth. Kale not able to do it. Nuzzle follows it up with Emmy. And Emmy has been a solid player for Nafu this entire time, but here is the real kicker. Hulu, well, he's going to be able to come back and just provide both spawns and support, picking up 2 more kills.
Yeah, he's going to be able to help wipe this flag of all members of Exodus. And this is right now a terrible position for Exodus because really the only flag that they can hit from is the B flag. So they're gonna have to walk from the A flag. And as we saw, Hulu Mulu just picked up 3 infantry right off the bat. Neutral Citizen also gonna get cleaned up from Hulu. I'm not quite sure if that was a good decision to send the rib boat there. Maybe he assumed that the scout healer was going to go after Valsaya in the boat with Justin, but it just didn't work out for him at all.
I think right now they're just desperate to try and stop this bleeding that's going to be happening right now. They don't have a helicopter really that's able to do anything at all. The boat's been stuck over there onto A this entire time trying to help out from a distance, but oh my god, look at the rockets coming on in. We see straws, we see TVs, we see helicopters throwing in. There's absolutely nothing that boat's going to be able to do. Don Paulo also doing some damage over here as well in the trenches. Finally does get taken down, but my lord, this right here is definitely the veterancy of Nafu coming out and showing.
Yeah, and if quite frankly on this 4 flag map, the flag that you don't want to be stuck on is the A flag. That's the one that you want your boats to keep sneaking around behind on, but your infantry need to walk this freaking gauntlet all the way down to B. They're vulnerable to boats, to the scout helo, to the infantry in the buildings. It's not the flag you want to be on, and quite frankly, they should be pushing down towards the C and D flag with something else. Put a rib boat down there, put a jet ski down there. They need to get down there quickly. And Master Ruski now going to engage against Justin in the boat. TVs go out for each team. Ruski's going to have the repair go out. And it looks like Exodus's boat is popped quickly.
Oh my god, that was so quick. You saw straws coming on in and the TV as well as the boat getting those first initial shots. There's no chance whatsoever. And now we're at 100 ticket advantage for Nafu. And this game, literally, guys, just got started. We haven't even really gotten into it yet. This is insane play coming out for these Nafu boys. 2 players are going to be left up and alive onto Bravo for Exodus. Maybe they can do something here if they can start getting some of these frags in their favor, but they're really struggling. Kale is going to be down below. His teammate does get taken down. Vale had no chance there as he runs into 2, and Don Polo is able to clean it up. And once again, Exo, they're struggling just to have a presence on the map.
We'll see how we see him on the B flag, hanging tight. Oh my goodness, Brett, the A flag went to Nafu as well. And finally the C flag, at least they're going to trade the A and the C flag for the flag radiuses. But guess what? It's not going to matter because the 3 flag hold is still there. Valsaya will find 1 kill. The new spawns from Exodus will spawn on the B flag. Maybe they can stop the bleed by capping B. Hulu Mulu is still there, circling around the flag radius. Fatoli and Emmy on the rooftop hold, trying to hold the bleed. The flag cap, not going to be enough to hold the burn as the flag will go gray. Maybe Exodus can take B and stop it? I'm not sure.
Well, we will see here in just a few moments as, B flag still in contention. 2 players are going to go down below. Vale, though, able to stay up and stay alive with that P90, but so low on health. About 4 there to try and survive and make it happen, but eventually does go down. So B will be going back into the favor of Nafu. We do see a fight developing over onto Delta. These are the flags that typically we do see trading back and forth the most. But just now, for the first time, we are seeing Exodus being able to have a presence on this site.
And wow, is it a presence. They've got 5. They had 6 infantry on the D flag briefly for a moment there. They're going to get it really quick. And the boat for Nafu was in the area. There's so many rockets. Look at the rockets going out after Audacious Potato. 1 more going to curve around. 2 more going to miss. And 3rd one will hit, but he's got a rep and actually possibly even 2 reppers. Valsia will try to rush down there. Vitoli going to get an Ace 52 kill on him. Valewind will kill Vitoli in return. The boat's still down there, still getting hit by rockets. Look at the Exodus trying to push down this boat. APS gets popped. 3 APS blocks for the rockets. And Master Ruski in trouble with 19 HP, and the boat will finally get taken out from Nafu. But, Brett, 84 to 230.
It took their entire team to do it, too. That is terrible. Suicides are going to be coming on in, and they got to get that's another thing that I don't think we pointed out on this map is that you do see a lot of suicides coming in to try and get around the map to make sure that you are spawning in on these flags to save them. And quite frankly, there's not a whole lot of lives here for them to work with. 76 lives left to make this happen. The 227 for Nafu, and they are going to be pressing in very, very hard here onto this C site. They did manage to win out the burn for the time being. Don't know if there's going to be too much resistance. Yes, it does look like 2 players are going to be left up in top, and they are not going to allow these players to come up in here and just have their way. Even again, what is Potato using the UMP? Is that a thing now?
Not to my knowledge, Brett. I guess he just feels super comfortable with it right now. But, you know, 224 to 72, going into this round having a massive advantage. I mean, sure, eXodus, I mean, you're not going to lose the map off of this round, but it makes next round nearly the more and more unlikely to come back and win, because you have to do this back to Nafu. And if Nafu were playing like this round 1, the odds of it having a round 2 are pretty slim.
What we need to see from Exo is to be able to grab a 3 cap and drag those tickets down another 150, if you can, tickets. 100 tickets would probably be a more realistic, setting, but at this point in time, they may not even be able to get 3 flags here. We do see Nuzzle doing some work on the top side of this building. We'll be able to take down Lexi, but again, is pretty much all alone here, or not alone, but he's going to be in an island, not able to do much once they do get this thing capped. That's the problem, is that they're going to have to suicide. They're going to have to try and get onto these other flags, which takes away tickets each and every time. And Vitoli, well, they're going to be able to get on top of this building, and they're going to start get this cap out. So even if they wanted to leave, they can't.
Yeah, we just see Nafu cleaning up the infantry. Hulu Mulu actually making sure that no infantry reach that building. Anybody that spawns on the outside, he is taking down, and that is a recap on that flag for sure. I believe we see another kill for Hulu on the Nuzzles, and even the boats here for Nafu. There's 2 infantry left for... Actually, it's 2 infantry... Okay, it's 2 infantry, a boat, and a scout helicopter taking the D flag against all their infantry. That gives 4 other infantry for Nafu to be anywhere else. Nafu are pretty much taking that flag with bare minimum effort.
Do you see C starting to get pressure now with the boat in hand? Electrify is going to be back up in his little bird. You can see here they are going to be playing in tandem with his boat to make sure that they are able to support each other. But 52 tickets left now to 215. How much more damage can Exo do to Nafu to make round number 2 just a little bit easier to come on out? It does look like we do see an attack here gearing up for that B site. Not going to happen, though. That's going to be a very quick clear, very quick cleanup. And just, again, I mean, I really don't know what in the world eXodus could do here in this situation.
So here's the problem, Brett, is that the A and C flags on eXodus side, those are their side of the map flags, and quite frankly, those are the easy ones for them to take. If they want to take the B and D flags, they need to actually work for them. The B flag looks like it's going to be eXodus's push. Neutral is on the rooftop, along with looks like somebody else on the rooftop. It's going to be Snoopbag. Rockets down towards the crate. There's a few defenders for Nafu here. B flag is going to go gray. Maybe they can have an advantage. Maybe they can get this 3 flag hold. It looks like there's no push on the C flag. Legco trying to get the Magnum kill off of the rooftop, and it's going to be Neutral who gets the 44 kill onto Legco instead. Tom Polo, the last member of Nafu alive on the B flag, and Electrify going to take him out with the helicopter. Brett, there's a 3 flag hold. We might be able to have a longer game here.
We just might. This is what Exo needed to do. They needed to get this three flag burn. They need to go ahead and take off about 100 tickets or so to make this a possibility. I don't know. Again, Exo, well, we saw some magic happen for them in Hammerhead. It definitely was disappointing that they weren't able to take their own map, but maybe they can do some work here. We do have a big push gearing up onto C. There's going to be the boat coming on in. Massive spawns are going to be coming up for Nafu as well. Does look like both of the infantry players that were trying to come up through the building have been taken down, but the last one is able to stay alive. They're still going to have a presence here. And we do have now that C flag starting to get burned back in their favor. So it was just for about 15 or so tickets. Not a whole lot, but every little bit at this moment definitely does make a difference.
As we can see, the big problem that Exodus is also facing here is that they were losing that flag, or that C flag, but they didn't have a presence anywhere else. They weren't making the push towards the D flag to make up for it. And in fact, they actually had only a few infantry on the B flag as well. They were really trying to hold C, and it just didn't work for them. Now the A flag, I'm going to be oppressed by Audacious Potato along with Hulamulu in the helicopter. this could be a very easy cap for Nafu here on the A flag.
You see the boat coming around here, Masaruski, as you said, very easy cap. TV missiles are going to be thrown out just to see what they can do. And it does seem like they are going to be able to gray this out, get the cap fairly easily. 3 flag cap is going to be in commencing as EXO. Look at those tickets. They are just going down so fast. 183 tickets now for Nafu. Where's the response at? Well, we do see maybe one player up onto B. Boats are going to be out, possibly going over here to that Charlie side, but this is going to have to happen now. They've got to get a gray out somewhere, and I just don't think that they have the time.
I mean, at the end of the day, at least it's not 230 tickets, I guess, Brett. It was at least 182 is a little more manageable in the grand scheme of things. It's not impossible to make this happen against Nafu. It's just really hard, and Exodus are gonna have to prove that in round number 2. As we see round number 1 end with a 182 ticket to 0 win for Nafu.
Yeah, as you said, not impossible, but definitely going to be hard. And you can take a look here at the KDs. Wow,
yeah,
that is rough, absolutely rough. Taking a look at Exo. I mean, you have what, 6 of their players didn't even get up into the double digits, struggling to make something happen. Justin almost having no impact on the map, and the boat only 4 kills. That is absolutely it. I mean, he's basically a glorified spawn point at that point and not able to get those spawns where they needed them. That was for sure. You stuck at A for so long. So now going into round number 2, it is all going to be up to EXO. Really, they're going to have to come out with a bang. They need to make sure that they come out, get that 3 flag set up right from the start, and try and get out to an early lead. If they don't, if we see Nafu, even if Nafu is able to keep this at a 2-2 flag standoff, I still don't think that Exodus is going to be able to make a comeback here. They have to come out right at the start swinging.
It's going to be really rough, Brett. And we saw right at the opening of the round number 1, we saw Electrify's Hilo take a little bit of a dive to the left, hit a rock, hit a pole, something. We did see the explosion there. Maybe he got hit by a stinger right off the bat, but with ECM there, maybe I don't know if it actually happened or not. Maybe we can get a closer look at that, from some replay. But they lost the Hilo battle immediately. I mean, he had to run away. The stinger from Vitoli finished off the Hilo battle, and they lost 3 flags almost just within the first 30 seconds of the game. They lost the C flag on their side of the map. I don't even know if they put a fight over it. Like, I don't know where Exodus, if they just dropped all their infantry at B or not, because we didn't even see a fight at C. So, yeah.
No, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, and the cap over on A was so delayed as well. They didn't get over there until probably a good maybe 30, 45 seconds into the match. And I mean, that you just can't have that happen. Real quick update though, as we did see in the chat, it does look like VN has taken the win over Just Lost. So they are going to be on to the bracket. Props to them. And I believe that the winner of this one will be facing off against VN as well. So whoever is going to be able to capitalize, possibly Nafu, able to just clutch this up and end it out in a 2-0 advantage. They are going to be on potentially here, but yeah, EXO, they've got a tall order ahead of them to try and make this happen. When you're in this situation as EXO, especially as a team that apparently, according to some, that don't have their main helicopter, don't have their main boat in the game, what adjustments can you make going into round number 2? Are there adjustments that you can make going into round number 2?
I mean, yeah, you can make... There's a few things you can do. First, you could, you can go stinger heavy. Instead of, you could focus on one vehicle rather than both. You could either do all SRAs, you can go for the boat down, you can pull that down really quick, or you can do more stinger based and just try to make sure that the helo isn't a factor as much. You can try to spread out, like I said, and try to get more infantry fights on different flags. You can get the boats around. I don't think we saw too many extra jet skis or boats come out of the main, out of the uncaps for Exodus at all to go to those lower flags. They have to have a presence on the map. Even if they're getting capped out at things, they have to have a presence on the map. And, if you go into a match with knowing that maybe a few of your vehicle lineup's a little weak, I mean, your pick ban phase has got to be a little more strategic, So.
No, you're absolutely correct on that one. And that's something that we might actually revisit if we do see this map ending out in favor of Nafus. Take a look at those pick bans again, just kind of see what maybe we could have had going differently in the favor of Exodus. But right now we are focusing in this potentially last and final round here of the night. This is going to be round number 2 of map number 2. Nafu with a massive lead, 182 tickets in their favor. They were able to take map number 1 as well, both of those rounds. So they are feeling good. They're riding that momentum potentially in round number 4. But Exodus, they have to make a stand right now. They have to stop them right here, right now. And we'll see if that's going to be happening.
Okay, so off the opening here, we do have Hulamulu in the Scout Helo this time for Nafu. I mean, they have the Z11. They don't have... Oh, we have a drop from Exodus. Oh, that's not good. They're going to bring a man short in the opening. TV missile for Master Ruski will hit neutral in the rib boat. That'll disable the rib boat as well. Nafu with a good opening so far. Looking for the Scout Helos. Electrify will fall. Oh, no. So Electrify will go down in the Z11 as well. That's not great.
No, it is not. And for those of you who are watching, yes, the names are on the opposite side. We'll get that fixed as soon as possible. But yeah, that drop is not what you wanted to see from EXO right from the very beginning. But this time, the breakout, I think, is just a little bit better still, even with that drop. We haven't seen that 3 flag cap coming in just yet. Now, Hulu, I don't know if you actually got hit with a rocket or if you ran into a pole there or not, but it does look like he is going to be back up and running. Kale trying to do some work as well over here onto that C flag as it has been getting grayed out. So no team actually able to take both of their flags just yet.
Yeah, as we can see, we have a 3-0 there for Lex, currently holding down hard on the C flag. Looks like Legco there also with him. Potato down below, and XCal will get taken out by Lex. Lex currently cleaning up the C flag, and we've got a 3 flag hold for Nafu, it looks like. B flag going to be pushed by Exodus. Is this 3-man push going to come in? And Exodus needs this flag now. The bleed is already against them. They need to stop the bleed first and foremost. And if they can't do that, this match is going to be over very quickly.
Well, I absolutely agree. As we are going to be seeing Nuzzle trying to stay up, stay alive, getting his teammates as many meds as possible. They are going to be seeing some spawns coming on into the north side over there at basketball court. So they are going to be having to hold that off eventually. But Master Ruski here, he's going to be taking some poke shots here at the boat. Nice job there, connecting with the TV. Does he go ahead and go for the aggressive play, trying to just hunt him down, take him out as quickly as possible? Oh, look at this. He's all of a sudden down now to 31 health. Pops his APS. Is it going to be enough, though? 8 health left. Tries to go in for the repairs. Not going to be able to make it happen. So Exodus, they may see an opening here to make a play.
The Scout Helo is still up for Hulamulu on Nafu, and that could make the boat give them a little bit of trouble. Delta flag that has the boat currently on it. Each team, though, they have 1 resource down. It looks like Nafu currently missing the boat, and Exit is currently missing their Scout Helo. So even with these vehicles down, it's still going to be tough for them to maneuver around the island. We see a jet ski getting off the helicopter for the boat to go to another flag. Master Ruski going to dive off. Nafu going to make a huge push counterplay. And this is what I was talking about that Exodus needed to do. This is 4 AT rockets all focusing that boat. And 1, 2, 3, 4 into that boat right now. That boat has no health left, and it is down, Brett. Justin will go down, and the D flag going to go back in the favor of Nafu quickly.
It is. Now on the flip side of that, we do see a 2-man push happening over here onto that C side. But unfortunately, Hulamulu is able to pick up at least 1 of those kills, and he's going to be able to do some poke damage to a lot of these infantry players, slowing down that potential burn that could have neutralized out that site. You are going to be having that infantry just going back and forth, back and forth. Wow, take a look at that kill feed. It was blue all day long. They clean up C. They take Delta. They have A already in their back pocket, and now they're looking for Bravo just to add insult to injury here.
And we see the tickets falling very, very quickly. 191, 90 now. They don't have much to work with. The bleed is against them. Batoli finds a kill into XCal. Nafu just successfully defending the B flag, or actually pushing it right now. Batoli finds another one on the Snoop Bag. And, I mean, the bleed There it is. There's your 180 tickets, Brett. This match, I mean, there's no way for Exodus to take the round now.
You're absolutely correct there. It is done and dusted as Hulumulu, well, he's going to go ahead and go in for the kill on that Z11. That's going to be easy peasy right in his back pocket, and making sure that his KD is going to be looking extra fine going in for the stats here. And B-Flag getting absolutely swarmed, and yeah, this is just all over right now. Basically, the only thing that Exodus is playing for is pride, but at this point in time, man, you might want to just cut your losses and look forward to who you're going to have to play there into the losers bracket, because this has been absolute domination from Nafu so far.
I mean, if you're Exodus, you could feel pretty pleased at how you played on Hammerhead. At least you practically tied round number 1 in Hammerhead. You did all right round number 2, and this map you didn't have your vehicle players. It's understandable. Things happen. But at least for Exodus, you're not out of the league. You go down to the losers, to the lower bracket, and you still have a chance to play. Nafu will move on, but Exodus can, at least move on.
That's right. And I do believe that they are going to be playing against Just Lost in that losers bracket match. We are going to be seeing VN versus Nafu, if I'm not mistaken, happening here later on next week. So those should be some pretty interesting matches that are going to be shaping on up. But yeah, they're definitely not out of it yet. They can make a losers bracket run. We'll see if that's going to be the case. A lot of stuff here that they can learn from, a lot of experiences and moments that they can take away in this match. I think Hammerhead is going to be one that definitely does sting. They had that one locked down, I think, in round number 1, and they just kind of let it get away from them. Round number 2, I think you could definitely say that Nafu just outplayed him on that one. But, when you have those opportunities with a 70 or 80 ticket advantage, you just cannot let them get away from you. So right now we are going to be seeing, just Nafu continuing on here on just absolutely dominating. I pull up the scoreboard real quick if we can. I do want to see just how well that we are doing. Oh my good Lord. I do not know. Volcia and Snootbag do not have a kill at all. Now, obviously, the round has been over for a while, but to not have a kill at all up until that point, man, that's rough. I don't know if they're just playing absolutely, just repair only in that situation or what, but that is not something that you want to see.
Actually, Volcia currently has the scout helo right now, not even electrify. And Hulu currently sitting on 16, 17, 18, and 0. The 3 flag hold going to be maintained. The 8 flag will be retaken by Exodus, but the round the bleed will pretty much end the round the next 5 minutes here.
Oh, it absolutely will. And the nice shots here once again coming in from Lexi as he picks up 3. Oh my God, he picks the 4th up with the mayor's leg. Good Lord, man, stop it. These people have families. They need somebody to go back to. Stop it. As Lexi just absolutely crushing it there inside the staircase. And who uses the mayor's leg? Come on, man. What is that? We saw the UMP today. We saw the mayor's leg. We had a revolver coming back into it, which I haven't seen in God knows how long. We even had, an M416 coming on out. Like, these guns, I'm loving it. Like, it's awesome because we got the variety coming back in, but it is just crazy what some of these guys are playing with nowadays.
I love the variety, and I love the fact that you can see these off-meta weapons frequently in this league. But I think the decision to, when you ban the G18, I think that has opened up a lot of versatility for the sidearms, and I think it's one of the best rules in a while for leagues.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree there. I mean, that G18, like we said before, you're basically a primary and the secondary role.
It's a pocket AK.
It is. It absolutely is. It's a brutal weapon to have to use. But so we are in the waning stages here of this round. 21 tickets left here before we are all going to be ending this out. As EXO, we are going to be sending you guys down into the lower bracket. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you being able to make this run. And Electrify does get taken down there once again in that little bird. But so I mean, let's go ahead and if we can, let's go ahead and bring up the pick bands if that's possible. We're gonna have to put some pressure here on our producer Patty. See if he can make that happen. All right, so there is the map vetoes. And we look at what Exo did take out. They took out Siege of Shanghai. They took out Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker, obviously, I could see them taking this one out of rotation just because it does have that attack helicopter. If you don't have a Little Bird pilot, well, it's going to be even doubly worse if you don't have that attack chopper to help you out. But Siege of Shanghai, even without a good attack chopper, you still have your tanker on the ground, and you still have your infantry players. I think that would have been a good map to leave in.
Yeah, I think Shanghai would have given them at least some advantage because those A and C flags on Shanghai, you definitely can get away with having an infantry-heavy flag. Even with the scout helo in the air, I mean, they can't do much on those lower hidden hallways and little storefronts. The other map I'm still surprised at is I'm really surprised I'm not surprised they banned Dawnbreaker, but I'm kind of surprised they banned it first. Like, you'd think that maybe they would ban Paracel or Rogue first.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, especially because, like they said before, they didn't have their boat player, they didn't have their helicopter either. So you kind of would think that those would be two of the maps that you definitely be taking out first. Hiding Resort as well. But we are getting word that Imagine versus Breakdown is happening. Do we have any ideas to what the progress is on that match? All right, so it's map number 3. So I think we're going to be heading on in over to Imagine versus Breakdown, map number 3 on Hainan Resort. If I'm not, can we go ahead and get an update on how the first 2 maps went? But yeah, that one definitely should be an interesting one between those 2 guys. And Hainan Resort with Imagine. We have seen Imagine playing that plenty of times. They look absolutely comfortable on it. And I think Kazage, he's had some really good tow missiles on that map. We have seen him pull off just some absolutely crazy shots.
Absolutely, yeah. His tows on that map are incredible. Just the lucky helicopter kills during, like, in the openings and mid game. It's so game changing on Hainan. So I am excited to go see it. Yeah.
All right, so it does look like the first round just ended. And do we have an update on the scores? Couldn't see the scores. Okay. Well, guys, we are going to be cutting to a very short break. We're going to be getting into potentially the last and final round here of the night. Is going to be Imagine versus Breakdown. So don't go anywhere. We got a little bit of bonus action for you.
Hell yeah, we do.
All right, guys. Well, we are back, and we're going to be jumping right on into our last and final round here of the night. This is going to be Imagine versus Breakdown. Now, we're going to let you guys know what happened throughout this match. So, we did see Imagine taking Zavod as their first map, but Breakdown was actually able to take Paracel Storm. So, as you stated before, this is the first map that Imagine has actually lost.
Yeah, it's the first map they've dropped in the entire league so far. So an excellent match or maps so far on Paracel. I would have liked to see what would happen, but Breakdown, kudos to them, and we've got a third map for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, in Imagine, I would imagine that they are considered probably the #1 team in this league at the moment. So for Breakdown to be able to take a map off of them, pretty impressive stuff. Now, we are going to be seeing the second round in Hainan Resort. So we'll go ahead and give you the results of round number 1. It was 177 tickets to Imagine. And that means that, well, Breakdown is going to have one heck of a hill to climb, just like what we saw Exodus having to do in round number 2 of that Paracel Storm. We're going to have to see the same thing from Breakdown. So they're going to have to come out hot. They're going to have to come out really, really swinging, making sure that they grab those 2 flags, make sure that they are going to be able to set up quickly and get that burn in their favor. We can take a look here at that map overview. If you guys don't know, Hainan Resort is going to be a 3-flag map, the first one that we have seen today. And it does mean that there is going to be pretty much a burn on the site the entire time. It is very difficult to get away with not having a burn, seeing that one of those flags being neutralized for any amount of time. So these maps typically go fairly quickly.
Yeah, being that 3-flag map, Hainan Resort, each team has that helo and then one LAV per side, and that LAV is so critical in both dealing with the rib boats, dealing with the infantry spawns on the flags, and the B flag in itself is noted for being a flag with absolutely terrible outside spawns. So if you don't have any teammates inside the B flag, it's gonna be rough. Joshua going to lead the scout helo battle right off the bat. Finds one, looks like possibly got a kill onto one of the boats. We'll pick up another kill into Nickel as he drops out of the scout helo. And Josh going to continue to get lit up a little bit by the little bird. Heave going to be flying for Imagine right now. Going to get chased down by Joshua. 20 HP. Going to win the fight. 14 HP. Will he get away just fine? Down to 11. And he looks like he'll be safe.
He is for sure. That's a huge win right there, and one that Breakdown did not want to see in that situation. Calzage, he's going to be back up in his LAV, doing a fantastic job as well, holding this down. I love the way this guy just switches into the seats. His movement around the map is just absolutely beautiful to watch. Interesting rib boat action here out on the outside, but Heeb's going to be able to help his teammate out and pick up those frags. So they have managed to own the air. They own the top of the building here on the hotel. Really, right now, Breakdown, well, they're going to have a hard time here of cleaning out these infantry players inside this building.
And the B flag is really what matters right now more than anything. If Breakdown does not manage to capture this flag on the opening, it almost is a certainty that Imagine could take this round, having a 177 ticket win the first round. The bleed immediately will be so critical, and it looks like right now, to their credit, Breakdown are going to get this flag first, which is great because it's going to put the bleed onto Imagine. But it's so close, they're just not on flag radius. Look at how close it is. Nickel going to be on the flag, going to throw a grenade. He will find a kill. Nickel will go down to Exa. And it's still not capped, Brett.
No, it is not. And what's really bad right now is the fact that we are seeing C getting flashed. So not only have they not capped out into the middle of the site, but they haven't been able to hold out on their home flag potentially here. Finally, the B site does go in. But oh my God, the damage coming in from Terex. He's only able to pick up one, but does a hefty amount there to the second. We are going to be seeing him go, though, getting cleaned up. And C flag still getting flashed, but I think they should be okay. They have 2 infantry back there to deal with it, as we do see Nickel starting to heat up here in the middle.
Yep, and we also saw Heeb drop one infantry out onto the A flag. Not quite sure if he got picked up yet. Heeb gonna clean up the rib boat, trying to deliver a few more infantry towards the B flag. Hyper Beast and Elite X will go down. B flag still in trouble. Heeb doing a nice job cleaning up the infantry around it, spawning around the flag radius. Joshua back up in the scout helo himself. Gonna go after Heeb, just gonna push right in.
That's actually massive right there, as we do see every single one of the players there from Breakdown getting cleared out of that B site. So they're going to have to actually spawn out and try to make their way back in. And oh no, Josh bails out of the chopper. He was going to lose that fight anyways. Not able to stay alive. We do see Hyper Beast able to pick up Sunny actually on the run. That's a clutch kill, making sure that their back flag is going to be okay. But right now, B is flashing. So they're going to have to take care of the presence of these infantry players from Imagine, and so far, well, it's not looking like they're going to be able to. What was that?
Kelzagi's stuck on the rock. He was actually trying to knock him out. Oh, that's so bad.
Well, he does manage to survive and get out, but look at that. We do see a couple of players coming on in to try and kill him. Kawasaki uncharacteristically misses, but look at that. Picks it up with the secondary gun. I love the plays coming out from him, as he will be able to survive the onslaught of infantry coming out. We do see a rotation, though, coming in onto that A site for just a few moments. So, Breakdown, they're not ready just to stay okay with 2. They want all of those flags, but look at that. On C, a 4-man push. That's going to be able to burn that down very fast.
Yeah, this is absolutely devastating right now for Breakdown. The 4-man push here are going to be great. Imagine going to go for that AC hold, which is also incredibly dangerous. And the reason they're doing it is because they have helicopter and LEV advantage. They can easily maintain that A hold without having to worry about any rib boats or LEVs or jeeps getting around, because they can just sneak it, with callouts on the rooftop. They can absolutely call them out and take those out before they get to A. The C flag is the critical one for Breakdown right now. They need to get it back.
Yes, they do indeed, and they got to make sure that they get it back as quickly as possible. They don't have a whole lot to work with, but look at that. Kawasaki able to take him down. That's going to be Joshua, no more, and one other as well, as he gets picked up. And yeah, this is definitely not looking good. 193 tickets here left for Breakdown. 177 was round number 1, so they've got to make the play, and they got to make it now. But look at all of those infantry players that are just flooded into the backside of that C site.
Nickel finds one kill into Joshua, unable to find the revolver kill onto the 2nd infantry, and Imagine just going to wipe the floor with the C flag right now. And they're going to hold it. 176 is your ticket count for Breakdown, and they are unable to win round number 2.
That they are. They put up a valiant effort, though. That was for sure. I mean, they were able to come out. It took them a while, but they did get that 3 cap eventually. It just wasn't enough there towards the end. And yeah, we are going to be seeing that win going over into their favor. Now, that does mean that Imagine is going to be moving on into the bracket at a 2-1 for this match. Breakdown will be falling down. If we can go ahead and bring up that bracket, there we go. It does look like Imagine is going to be facing off against ESF. That should be a really good match. We've seen those guys clash time and time again. Definitely looking forward to that. We already stated before, and Mafu going up against Team VN in the winners. If we take a look at the losers bracket, we are going to be seeing Breakdown and Legacy, I believe, facing off against each other. eXodus versus Just Loss. Those are going to be elimination matches. So those matches are going to really mean a lot for these teams. They got to make sure that they're going to be on their game form.
Absolutely. And that Legacy Breakdown match, I think, is going to be pretty close. Legacy uncharacteristically lost that match against ESF in the upper bracket. And I mean, if Breakdown can take a round off of Imagine, they definitely can take that match from a Legacy. So they can definitely keep moving on. It's that ESF Imagine game that I really want to keep an eye on.
Oh, absolutely. I think that is going to be one hell of a match. That is potentially a grand final style match. I mean, those two teams can definitely put on one hell of a show. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we are going to be able to see that coming up here in the later weeks. That is for sure. But guys, I think that is going to be ending it out here for us tonight. I don't think that we have an interview lined up for this evening. And so we're just going to go ahead and cut it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that follow button down below, guys. We're going to have more action coming up in the next few weeks. And then, of course, make sure you do follow us on Twitter as well. We've absolutely appreciate you joining us. Gravity and myself, we love doing these. We hope we can do it a lot more, especially now that we do have 2042 coming up here in the next couple of months. It's going to be an exciting time. And of course, thank you to all of our production staff. You guys are absolutely fantastic. And you got to say, I'm looking forward to what we're going to be having here in the future. But that's going to be it. Gravity, you got anything to say before we close this out?
First, congratulations to Imagine on the secondary match, and congratulations to Nafu on their victory over eXodus. Well played to both teams, and Nafu, we'll see you in the next in the semifinals.
Absolutely, guys. So take it easy. Have a good one. See you next stream.